6 a.m. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Week 14 of the NFL season wrapped up last night as the Chargers take down the Eagles in overtime, winning 22-19. Despite having surgery on his non-throwing hand last week, Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert threw for 139 yards, a touchdown, and an interception, as well as rushing for 66 yards on the ground. The Chargers defense had a big night as they intercepted Jalen Hurts 4 times, including once in overtime, to seal the win. The Chargers improved to 9-4 on the year. In NFL news, the Colts are planning to bring in retired quarterback Phillip Rivers in for a workout today. The move comes after Daniel Jones suffered a torn Achilles on Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Rookie backup Riley Leonard is expected to get the start, but 44-year-old Phillip Rivers could be an option, at least in an emergency case. Rivers played for the Colts last in 2020, where they went 11-5 and made the playoffs. And in college football news, the 2025 Heisman finalists were announced yesterday. Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love, Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia, and Ohio State quarterback Julian Sayin are all headed to New York. The ceremony is this Saturday evening on December 13th. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Tuesday morning is off and running live from Nissan Stadium. Welcome to Ramon and Will. Welcome to Toyfield, the 18th annual Toyfield Toy Drive, sponsored by A.O. Smith and Wayne's Pest Control. Today, inside the South End Zone Plaza between gates 8 and 9 of Nissan Stadium. 104.5 The Zone and Cumulus Nashville will be here until 6 o'clock. On one of our favorite days of the year. We've got the whole crew working for us, working with us, working for all of the building out here. Jackson Williams, Kirby Allen Kirby, Justin Hawkins back at our 104.5 The Zone studios with Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling. It is cold, but Ramon, our hearts are warm. Good morning.
Yes, they are. Our hearts are warm and our minds are blank this morning, at least mine. I'll speak for myself. So, it's probably one of the coldest mornings we've had. And I knew all week long, Kurt, what does this say? It's
7 degrees Celsius.
7 degrees Celsius. Okay.
Celsius
if we were in Sweden, that would be really helpful to us. But
that's what I was thinking. About 27 to 29
all
this
right.
morning is where we're at.
Perfect.
If that's 7 degrees Celsius.
I don't know why I picked Sweden of all countries.
I'm going to get it on the break curve. I got you. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and let you do it.
We're multitasking here this morning.
And I'm trying to get to where I'm at this morning. We sometimes just go about life and don't think about the next step, and we get into routines as humans, kind of like animals in the wild. You know, like the lion gets up every day and try to find his 10 pounds of flesh is how it works each and every day. We have some folks, man, well, we get some, they're trying to find a new watering hole. It's like survival is where it is. And my mindset this morning was legitimately, Mon, let's go ahead and just get this routine going, man. Let's beat the gym rats before the gym rats get to the gym at New Year's. You know what I'm saying? Like every year, man, around New Year's, each and every gym around the city is jam-packed.
That's true.
So New Year's resolutions, feeling real good about yourself, and hey, let me start this 2026 and New Year. I'm not dragging old baggage into the New Year. So I myself was sleep thinking last night. You ever had those moments where your mind just racing all
absolutely.
the time? I thought about every single thing except the show. Okay, and I only thought about the gym. I was trying to figure out, okay, I got to make sure I got my gym bag, I got my toiletry bag, I got my towel, my shoes, I'm going to hit the sauna, you know what I'm saying, and just figure it out. Well, I put on workout clothes this morning.
You did. You were in shorts.
These are a summertime, spandex that I have on. This isn't even, Kurt, like my winter time,
You're in shorts and tights.
I'm in shorts and tights with a hoodie with no undershirt on whatsoever right now. And we are outside, Kurt, and what's the temp again?
28.
About 28 degrees.
Owens on us.
Yeah, and I got O-line. I got an O-line mastermind. Luckily for me, I have a truck, and I got a doggone glove compartment that has a beanie in it.
That's good.
Your boy
That's
is
good.
freezing this morning.
Well,
okay?
I'm sorry to hear this. And
No, it's a me problem.
you do have about 18 jobs that are all extremely important, and you
had
just got done with a
cases
long
yesterday.
football season. So I'll give you a lot of slack, but I do understand that
I'm an idiot.
you're going to be playing hurt today.
I'm a little
The goal is, are you hurt or injured? We're going to play hurt, not injured today during Ramon and Will.
Pride is hurt right now. I'm gonna be real with you. I never set these things up, man. So don't mindlessly go through the same routine. And then I got thrown off this morning. I'm coming out of the garage, and there are lights on my doggone garage door. I'm like, okay, what the heck? Where's my pistol at? Spin straight up. I'm going to be real with y'all. Amazon, I love y'all and what y'all do for us. I 100% love the idea of y'all doing appropriate things for getting us our holiday gifts. But showing up in my driveway at 5 o'clock in the morning, okay, with a shiesty mask on is one way to get for me to exercise my Second Amendment rights, okay?
What is the protocol this morning on adding in our list of things we need for Toyfield? Warm clothes for Ramon Foster. How does that work? If we outsource and say, hey, we're building a field of toys to benefit Salvation Army's Forgotten Angels program. While you're out doing your holiday shopping, pick up an extra new unwrapped toy or gift for a senior or a coat for Ramon. How does that work this morning?
A blankie. Kirby over.
That is going to be the hard part for you is when they start to fill up this field in front of us with toys and gifts for seniors. We ask for coats and gloves and blankets and hats. And I don't know, maybe just one of them can fall into your lap as far as blankets go.
Listen, all right, I'll repackage it. For each one that I get, I'll donate 4, okay? That's what I'm telling you.
Well, you're a good sport about it.
Yeah,
I would be I would be miserable.
Zach in our chat says, no heated benches. Yeah, I got spoiled in the old life. Ain't no heated benches out here today, is it, Will?
No, but that is all right. We are
it's all good.
Very happy to be here. Lot K at Nissan Stadium is where you need to park if you are coming by to see us. Parking and curbside drop-off at Nissan Stadium is available there right in front of Gate 7. So basically, the way I came in this morning, I came down Korean Vets, came down that hill on the bridge right there. I took a left. It is clearly marked, the signs, Toyfield this way. You've got more signs as you make your way into Nissan Stadium. The traffic and the construction stuff, not a bother at all. Very clearly marked, very easy to get here. And if you are coming from either direction, south end zone is where we are. So typically we've done this on the Riverside and the big gate over there. We are in the south end zone between gates 7 and 8 where the big tighten-up tailgate is on game days. Big tent right there. We've got heaters. We've got a field that is going to be filled up with toys today.
No doubt. And if you are coming from the north side of town, also getting off on Korean Veterans Boulevard, getting off on that exit in general, as soon as you turn where the Titan Stadium is, don't turn where the construction site is like I did.
Correct. It's the second
It's
right.
the second
not the first right.
What is I think? It's like south end zone turn. I think
Something
South
like that.
Street. Yes.
Yeah.
Do not turn in the first turn. It's the second one.
I would look it up, but I have gloves on.
Absolutely. Yeah. You. Yes, smart guy. Yes, you do have them on. I'm the idiot this morning. But I'm actually okay right now. My back is going to get cold because this plastic shield behind us.
Well, we've got a heater next to us. And,
yeah, we do.
If you are coming by, then you've got heaters in here as well to heat you up through the process.
Golly.
We're going to make it.
We almost there. We ain't got no choice.
You're way tougher than me. If this was to happen to either two of us, you are way tougher than I am. So
I got us, man.
It is better to be you, just for the betterment of the show. Although I do empathize with you.
It's a great story. I know that much moving forward.
22-19, Chargers over the Eagles last night on Monday Night Football. This was an ugly football game. I saw Ian Hartitz, NFL writer, put on Twitter, this was the most Thursday night football game in the history of Monday Night Football. Man, the Eagles' turnover issues were a huge problem in this, including, Ramon, a play where there were 3 turnovers on one play.
Yeah.
An Eagles interception, a forced fumble by the Eagles against a Chargers defender, and then another fumble from Jalen Hurts that was then picked up by Chargers defenders.
It was I got in the house from a basketball game around that time. I was like, let me sit down. This should be a very physical game. And I don't know if it was very physical or they're just a disjointed team right now at this point. Like, there was some hard hitting. The Chargers did everything they were supposed to. I woke up this morning and saw the Chargers won in overtime. But legitimately looking at that game, that's not no credit taken away from what the Los Angeles Chargers are. but that's not the Philadelphia Eagles team we've grown accustomed to watching as of late. Some of them look disinterested. You had, who was it, Zach Ertz, I feel like that was open time and time again over the middle of the field, and Jalen Hurts is looking for A.J. Brown. And
Dallas Goedert.
My bad. I know I was off on one of them.
Sorry.
Dallas Goedert looked frustrated. Jalen Hurts is trying to find guys, but he's only looking for A.J. He succumbed to diva pressure is what I feel like Jalen Hurts is dealing with right now. He's got the rings, he's got the money, and he's trying to make sure that he feed his guys because AJ's publicly complaining about stuff that when you're on a good team, you just kind of let go. And that is a balance when you got a guy like AJ that can be great, and you know, and I know, and everybody else knows at this point, he's chasing those numbers. He's chasing that gold jacket because he's supposed to. But within the team concept of what they have as a group, no Lane Johnson last night. Fred Johnson, I thought, did a whole lot better from the first time he came into the game, the right tackle. And they have it. Saquon breaks a run the way you're supposed to. I hate these type of issues, but they're good problems to have because you love to have a team to where at any moment in time you can go out and beat anybody. But the issue that they have, they're not putting the team first, in my personal opinion. When you see – he's a very passionate guy. Anyway, Nick Sirianni just looked like he's losing his mind, and he's excited.
He's an emotional guy.
He is, but like when you're coaching and you know you are amongst greatness, you hate to see that fractured just team. And right now, that's what the Philadelphia Eagles look like to me, and that's why they're continuing to lose more games than they have in years past. It's problematic. The only reason I speak so passionate, I've been around those types of teams. I hate those types of players, but we need them. You need an A.J. Brown, man.
Totally do. 5 field goals from Cameron Dicker, the kicker, in this game, as really it was just a missed field goal by Jake Elliott, the difference of the game. He made 4 out of 5. Dicker, the kicker, made 5 out of 5. It was a really bad day to be playing Cameron Dicker in fantasy football. There is no doubt about that. But the Chargers win this game despite Justin Herbert being sacked 7 times and only averaging 3.9 yards per play. They were 7 of 19 on third down, L.A., 275 total yards. Really just ugly game that L.A. won with turnovers. So interesting to your point, the difference in the way these games have gone for Philly. A lot of times it's been the offense does enough, the defense leads the way, and the team wins despite A.J. Brown not contributing a whole lot. He had 6 for 100 in this one, despite 7 targets, too, and one of them was over his head, off his fingertips, and intercepted by the L.A. Chargers defense. Really sloppy, just interesting game of football. Justin Herbert was 12 of 26 for 139 yards with a 59.6 quarterback rating, and they won this game.
I know we've had light conversations about Justin Herbert, and he's a West Coast guy.
Sure.
But I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know who to blame. Him?
Offensive line.
Okay.
Offensive line.
Okay.
They have been the walking wounded on their offensive line. So he was sacked a career-high 7 times, completed a career-low 46% of his passes, posted the lowest passer rating in a win in his career. It's actually funny. He's been sacked 6 or more times in 3 games in his career, and he's 3-0 in those games.
Let me go ahead and apologize. Well, because I instantly wanted to blame him and not his offensive line. That's on me.
So right I'll do you one more before we get out of here. Justin Herbert faced the 3rd highest pressure rate at 68% in a single game in the next-gen stats era. That's since 2016. Of the top 4 highest pressure rates faced in the next-gen era, Justin Herbert is the only quarterback to emerge victorious. Trigger warning for Titans fans. This was essentially the regular season version of 2021 Bengals-Titans in Nissan Stadium, where there were 7 sacks, and the team that got sacked 7 times won because the team that sacked you 7 times also turned the ball over a bunch.
Hey, at the end, pick any Rocky movie. That's Trevor Lawrence. That's Justin Herbert at the end of each game.
Might be Trevor Lawrence too. To be honest with you.
Like he's beat to a pulp, man. His hand, I feel bad for his hand. Right now.
Broken hand.
Had a scar, bleeding all everywhere, man. Like I know they pretty boys and quarterbacks and protect it, but have a sense of pride. Chargers offensive line and offense. Goodness gracious, you can tell I'm a little fired up this morning. I'm a little ticked off.
Well,
starting with me.
I hope the adrenaline of you being fired up is enough fire to warm you with the unfortunate wardrobe decision you have made today. But we press on. Live from Nissan Stadium, 18th annual Toyfield, sponsored by A.O. Smith and Wayne's Pest Control. Live today in the south end zone. While you are out doing your holiday shopping, pick up an extra new unwrapped toy or a gift for a senior. We're thinking gloves, we're thinking blankets, we're thinking hats. Maybe one just falls in Ramon Foster's lap. Help fulfill the dreams of thousands of children and seniors in need this holiday season. Lot K, where you park, in between gates 8 and 9 here in Nissan Stadium, outside Nissan Stadium here in the south end zone. Coming up, Josh Heupel did something he has never done in his head coaching career yesterday. What is next for Tennessee after the firing of Tim Banks? We'll talk about it after this.
Genesis Diamonds really shines this time of the year, y'all. The cases are jam-packed with all the best gifts, highest quality, at the guaranteed best value price. Engagement rings, diamond bracelets, eternity bands, earrings, pendants, colors, stone jewelry, Rolex watches, and listen, this December at Genesis, you can get the holiday jewelry she wants for $0 down and no interest for 5 whole years. So you can go big without going broke. That's what they're trying to tell you. Pick any item, spread your payments over 5 years, 0 interest. That $6,000 ring is just $100 a month. Do the math. Everything's affordable. Genesis non-commission experts are ready to help you find the headliner gift from a few $100s to a few $100,000 if you like. Elegant pendants, dazzling eternity bands, stylish wedding bands, and an incredible selection of diamond classic jewelry. 0 down, 0 interest for 5 years. And yes, hundreds of pristine pre-owned Rolex watches, all the most popular models also. And if you love a deal, check this out. Here's something all new for 2025. The Genesis Diamonds Half-Price Holiday Vault. A select group of showcases featuring expertly curated Christmas gifts that Genesis is offering at half price. So 50% savings, the biggest discount ever. You need to check this out. Genesis Diamonds, the place for that spectacular holiday gift. They're located in Green Hills and Cool Springs. See store for details.
Hey, it's Will Bowling. Do you have a plumbing issue at home? Whether it's a leaky faucet or a clogged drain, maybe you got that water heater that's gone cold, you've been putting it off, and now that it's cold outside, you are extra needy for warm water. Well, I'm here to tell you that Lee Company's licensed technicians, they'll save you time, money. They'll save you all the stresses that come with an ill-timed plumbing issue. You can contact their award-winning team at leecompany.com. I love working with Lee Company because instead of having the phone numbers or the websites of a bunch of different places to make sure things are working the way they're supposed to around the house, I just have Lee Company. Their website is great. Their service is the best in the area, whether it's your HVAC, your plumbing, your electrical systems. I just have to go to one website, leecompany.com. They'll take care of you. Available 24/7 year-round. Let their licensed technicians save you time, money, and all the stresses that come with an ill-timed plumbing issue. Contact their award-winning team at leecompany.com. That's Lee Company, all you need. Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone, live from Toyfield at Nissan Stadium. Ramon Foster and Will Bowling, the 18th annual Toyfield Toy Drive, sponsored by A.O. Smith and Wayne's Pest Control. Today in the South End Zone Plaza between gates 8 and 9 of Nissan Stadium. We will be here until 6. All of our shows will be out in the open, out amongst the people. Buck Rising, Cover 2 of Blaine and Zach, 3HL will all be here. So maybe if you don't have time in your morning commute, you got an early meeting, then we are giving you the update now to grab a toy. You probably get something literally, Ramon, Amazoned to your home now, and then just bring it by here later.
Speaking of Amazon, right.
Amazon.com, tights and a jacket for Ramon this morning.
No doubt about it. They were outside my driveway early this morning, so they will, to your point, bring it right to you as quick as possible.
We've got a little blue football. We've got an MLS soccer ball. Bet you can guess who brought that. Me. This morning. And that's the kind of things you can bring by. Just new toys. Whether it's sports, whether it's doll, whether it's, both, something in between. That is what we're looking for, or a gift for a senior for the elderly to benefit the Salvation Army's Forgotten Angels program. Help us create miracle moments for families in our community. We appreciate all of our great sponsors helping make this day happen, one of our favorite days of the year. Ramon, Tennessee fired Tim Banks. Josh Heupel in the market for a new defensive coordinator. Tim Banks out after 5 seasons as Tennessee's DC. It will be the first time that Josh Heupel will have a defensive coordinator at Tennessee not named Tim Banks. VolQuest reporting that Josh Heupel and Tim Banks have had meetings over the last couple of days, and the decision has been made to go separate ways. What was your initial take seeing this yesterday?
Besides him firing, a guy for the first time, is Coach Heupel's listening. Coach Heupel sees what we see. I don't think you can, charge a person for being stuck in their ways or going with their guys for so long. But when you understand that a change has to be made, he's done those things. Well, he's done that right now. I think him understanding what the SEC is going to be, the teams that are competing well in the SEC, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Texas, Georgia. You expect LSU to get back. My point is the offense is awesome, but being able to have a solid defense, whether that's players, whether that's scheme, whether that's teaching, that has to be, I think, more in the forefront considering what the future is going to bring towards you. Again, I'm not saying Coach Heupel is listening to us. What I'm getting at is he understands the situations that he's put into as a coach and how the need to get better is a year-to-year and constant situation for himself and for that team. And to be quite honest with you, Will, for his job security.
Yeah. 2024, obviously, Tim Banks was the biggest reason why Tennessee made the college football playoff. And not just him, that entire defensive staff. Tim Banks' defense finished in the top 25 in 9 different categories in 2024. But in 25, with some now professional football players in the front 7, no longer a part of that defense, like James Pierce Jr. and Omar Norman Lott, and a leader like Omari Thomas. And then without Jermon McCoy and Ricky Gibson, 2 All-American corners who were not in that secondary. Tennessee was 14th in the SEC in scoring defense, at 28.7 points per game. Give up 1,760 rushing yards. That's the most since 2021. Against Power 4 teams, Ramon, Tennessee's defense gave up 32.4 points per game in the regular season. Beyond just the personnel changing, for you, what didn't work for Tim Banks this season? What was so different about this Tennessee defense versus the one that was not only playoff caliber, but the defense was probably championship caliber in 2024?
Man, I think it's a continuation of last year and this year, to be quite honest with you. Last year, quarterbacks had their time with the balls, being able to escape the pocket and extend plays. What was it, 2022 or 2023?
22,
When Ole Miss came into that stadium.
That was 21.
21. Like, that issue right there hasn't gone away. You wanted answers as far as the secondary being on the exact same page. To your point, Jermon McCoy and Ricky Gibson were not a part of this. That changes a lot. Rushing coverage does work together. I can acknowledge that and give him grace to say, you know what? You got kind of screwed over because of injuries. But here's the thing about it. You shouldn't be right before the snap communicating or not communicating, and guys aren't on the same page, whether that's also, to be quite honest with you, Coach Heupel or him, as far as the understanding of how you handled the Boot Carter situation this year. Like the lack of communication, being exposed when it comes to Georgia in 2024 with no answers throughout the duration of the game, no adjustments to how they employed the tight end, to where they just kind of diced you apart in the moment in which you had a 17-point lead, if I'm not mistaken, going into this thing. Like, there was a lot that kind of played into it. It wasn't just, in my personal opinion, it wasn't just a impulse, hey, he got to go because this year was bad. The same issues hadn't removed themselves from where you were. If you're telling me that they're giving up, yards on the ground, you should see an improvement there. You shouldn't have every mobile quarterback, including this past year, ETSU's and UAB quarterbacks running outside of the pocket and getting yards on you. Like, yes, I know the offense puts the defense in some bad situations sometimes. As a coach, as that side of the ball, you don't ask, you're not begging, word to put the football down. You just got to defend those blades of grass right there. And too many times I felt like they let people escape, either through runs, and long third downs, and and I know, and everybody watching it could tell it could be better. And that's the issue.
Sure.
That's the issue.
Well, and I think the problem for Tim Banks is that the Vandy loss was kind of the perfect picture of what didn't work for the Tennessee defense in 2025. It was not being gap sound. It was not being able to set an edge and be able to fill the right holes within the defense. And then beyond that, it's just caging in a mobile quarterback that was allowed to run, who had over 400 total yards, who, by the way, is a Heisman finalist. So he did that to a lot of teams. But I think the issue there for Tim Banks is that it was hard to really credit him alone for the good things, but he is ultimately responsible when the results do decline.
Yeah.
What do I mean by that? He didn't hire any of this defensive staff. This was a staff that was already put together.
Okay.
And then he was hired as the defensive coordinator. So it's not like this staff was tied to him. Personal development of players like an Omar Norman-Lott, players like a Jermon McCoy, Ricky Gibson. Like, to me, the question is, how do you separate that from him or Willie Martinez in the case of some of the defensive backs? Rodney Garner in the case of some of the defensive linemen. The different outside linebackers coaches, Mike Eckler, Chop Robinson, our friend Robert Ayers. It was hard to just tie the good things that were going on with this Tennessee defense to Tim Banks, because he was kind of the last piece when this staff was originally put together. And so then it becomes also easier to replace you, Ramon.
It does.
Because, okay, well, if I make a change at defensive coordinator, a lot of other coaches around the country are going to ask, do I have to find a whole new defensive staff? Is this going to help me in the transfer portal, or is it going to hurt me in the transfer portal? Is this going to help me with high school recruits? I mean, those are already signed. It's the ugly side of college football that you sign a recruiting class, and then, all right, now we're going to make all these staff changes because y'all are locked in and you can't do anything about it, I guess. I guess you could transfer, but that's the interesting thing to me, is how Tennessee now has this marriage of a defensive staff that's already put together and a new defensive coordinator. Because, Ramon, I expect there to be probably another change or two with whoever is brought in. We're going to look at the name to watch here in a minute, but with whoever's brought in, there's a likelihood they're going to want their guy as a part of that staff too.
And I think you have to. But here's the thing about Tim Banks coming into that job and being in that role. Well, I do know this. He has brought in some of the guys that he know and he trusts too. He's got, a faction of that defensive staff that are his guys. I do know that. You also got to look at this situation for Tim Banks' concern and say this. Was he where did he come from? Penn State at first?
Penn State. Co-defensive coordinator at Penn State. He was the non-play caller out of the two defensive coordinators.
That part of it to me is why hey, this is what you get. I know you want this job. So you just kind of accept it as a new guy that's in a play calling role. To me, I don't even know if those were the biggest issues, because there have been guys that have left. Like Coach Inge comes in and
William Inge at inside linebacker.
William Inge comes in at linebacker, and the linebackers get better. You got one of the best guys ever as far as defensive line development and Rodney Garner. Willie Martinez is a very respected guy. So it's not like it's a group of misfits.
No, definitely not.
Yeah,
and I'm not implying that at all.
Right. But to your point,
right,
you have to have your people. And
For sure.
I'm all about getting your people in. The issues and and I think the reasons why he was let go too was, I'll give you one scenario I thought about last night. Like, okay, how do you justify this if you're Josh Heupel? This volunteer team starts off the season, 25 sacks in like 4 games. Josh Joseph's considered at this point an edge setter, run stopper.
And potential first-round pick by many. Yeah.
Where did he go?
Yeah, right.
Last year with James Pierce Jr., he still went first round.
For sure.
And the conversation was maybe it was his personality and attitude that caused him to drop. By the way, who's leading all rookies in sacks right now? James Pierce Jr.
Yeah, right.
So my point is this. Where do you isolate and find opportunities for guys that are your premier players to get them in one-on-one positions to win, too? Georgia does it well, right? You see their guys win. You see them hold a standard. And then in situations this year, the one that baffled me the most, and I said it on the broadcast, I said it on our show, so I'm not saying this in hindsight. This is one of my main points in the game was, I think it was Vanderbilt. And to stop Diego Pavia, because he was having a hell of a day, he decides to bring 9 in the box. You put Ty Redmond and Colton Hood one-on-one, nobody in the middle of the field. At the snap, no safety drops back to assist them. You had, what's his name, Junior Sherrill and Colton Hood basically in a camp rep in a real game to where all Junior Sherrill, who's a fast guy.
He is very fast. Yeah.
5 yards, step on his feet and run a slant. Luckily, Colton Hood stops him. But that to me is, what is your plan? As a player, I'm looking at this like, oh my God. So you're just pulling, like you're grasping for straws to stop something? Like, what about something to scheme them up? You can't put 2 corners in that situation. Like, zero coverage, be damned, okay? Like, that is a situation, all right. That was like a 1st and 10 situation where you didn't have to go 9 in a box right there.
Well, and then there were a lot of second down blitzes in that Vandy game, too, that did not seem to really be timed right.
So that, to me, I'm not saying that I question did he game plan, but I question
what the game plan was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, there was a game plan. Okay. It's just what were the concepts of the plan?
There we go. Give me the concepts of the plan.
So the other thing about this, and I want to talk about the name that Pete Nakos has to watch, or name to keep an eye on for Tennessee here too in a minute, but even in 2024, Bone, and this is being harsh, but I think it's the reality of where Tennessee football is right now.
Yeah.
Even in 2024, when they were in the playoff, you saw the difference between a championship-level coaching staff and Josh Heupel's coaching staff. Yeah. When Chip Kelly and Jim Knowles were all over Tennessee. Now, again, they had better players. I'm not going to relitigate that and put the Tennessee-Ohio State loss on Tim Banks. Yeah. It's the last thing I'm going to do. But you saw the gap. And one of the ways to close that gap, and again, we talk about it a lot on this show, the hardest thing to do in football is to go from great to elite. Yeah. And over the last 4 years, since 2022, Josh Heupel and Tennessee have been great. How do you take the next step into the Georgia, I guess Alabama, you'd probably put in there, Texas, you would certainly over a 4-year rolling average defense. Put in there. Right. Like, how do you put yourself in the Ohio State, Georgia tier? You be ruthless, and you take risks. Josh Heupel is taking a risk by firing Tim Banks. In my opinion, it is the right risk to take because this became a pretty untenable situation after the Vandy game, and we've got to be able to play defense and scheme things up besides just having really good football players. Because, again, that's not just Tim Banks. Like, James Pierce Jr., Omar Norman Lott, Arion Carter, Jermod McCoy, Ricky Gibson, like Jacoby Thomas when he was here before he transferred. Like, those are really good football players that, in my opinion, a lot of defensive coordinators could have really good defenses with. But how are you taking them to the next level? Tim Banks did not maximize the talent that he was given this season, and so you move on. And I think there will be a lot of interest in this job. I think that Josh Heupel will have a much better candidate pool to choose from than he did the first time around. Because I think the first time around, there was this narrative that you don't want to go be that guy's defensive coach. Yeah. You do not want to go work for Heupel, and he doesn't care about your defense and how long you've had to sit on the sideline, and he's just going to run tempo and do this and that. That could not have been further from the truth in 2024, and Josh Heupel has shown the growth, I think, Ramon, that, hey, if we need to win a game 13-10, we will go win a game 13-10 and be perfectly content with it. I think the improvement of this roster, I just think the NIL money, the resources and the infrastructure of Tennessee football are in such a better place than they were 5 years ago, the last time Josh Heupel made a defensive coordinator hire. And that has me excited for the kind of candidate he can get.
No doubt about it. And just to your point, too, just to reiterate it, the premium of where they are as far as recruiting go. Defensively this year, I think it showed a commitment to it. The conversation, I feel like everybody that's a talking head around the volunteer program, our own three guys, Jason Swain being one of those guys that are speaking about what you need. You need a couple of D tackles. Mm-hmm. You need a safety. So the understanding that is there. You don't have to worry about the support. You don't have to worry about will you have enough. I mean, how many? I think I counted 18-ish commits this cycle on the defensive side of the ball, or guys who are athletes that can play the other side. That's a lot of commitment right there, man.
Coming up, Pete Nako, Savon 3, has one name to keep an eye on at Tennessee. We'll tell you who that is and why they'd be a good fit coming up. Plus, Austin Price at 8:20 this morning will give us what he's hearing and how we got here with Tennessee and Tim Banks. As always, Austin brings us all the nuggets we need from the insider perspective in Knoxville at 8:20 on Tuesdays. Our 18th annual toy drive presented by A.O. Smith and Wayne's Pest Control today. Toyfield Day, one of our favorite days of the year. Between gates 8 and 9 in Nissan Stadium, will be here until 6 p.m. Lot K, where you park, south end zone. We'd love to see you with a new unwrapped toy or gift for a senior. Bring it to Toyfield. Help fulfill the dreams of thousands of children and seniors in need this holiday season. We wrap up hour one of the show. Coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Man, I'm here to tell y'all, nobody this time of the year wants to deal with a plumbing, HVAC, or an electrical emergency. It's the holiday season, man. You're having people over, and having an issue is the last thing that you want going in. But I'm here to tell you, when you call Hiller, the experts, they're going to solve your problems quickly. And the cool thing is the price you're told is the price that you will actually pay. There are no hidden fees or surprises when you get your bill. I actually just set an appointment for Hiller at my house yesterday. I used the website, end up getting a phone call from them, man. They make it as easily as you should have a service situation be like this. Their techs, very professional, experienced, and trustworthy. And they're all background and drug screened, too. Cool part, when they're on their way, you'll receive a photo of the tech and a link to track them in real time. So you're not sitting around the house wasting time for somebody to show up when they promise you, hey, we'll be there between 12 and 4. No, they'll send you the link when they're on their time. Their motto has been, happy you'll be able to service is free. If you're not satisfied with the service that they've done, they will do all they can to make it right or simply just give you your money back. They absolutely mean that. To learn more about Hiller or to book with them like I do, go to happyhiller.com.
Ramona Will live from Nissan Stadium, live from our 18th annual Toyfield Toy Drive, sponsored by A.O. Smith and Wayne's Pest Control. You can come by and see us, drop off a new unwrapped toy, gift for a senior. South End Zone Plaza, where we are today. Big tent, can't miss us, between gates 8 and 9 of Nissan Stadium. 615-737-1045, how you join us. So Tennessee is in the need for a new defensive coordinator. We'll talk with Austin Price about this coming up at 8:20 this morning. A can't-miss visit with Austin, as always. Pete Nako, Savon 3, says, one name to keep an eye on at Tennessee is Washington defensive coordinator Ryan Walters. He's reporting alongside Chris Lowe for On 3 with that. Former Purdue head coach Ryan Walters is in year one at Washington. He finished the season at Washington with that defense top 20 in total defense at FBS, allowing 311.4 yards per game. And that defense was 55th in 2024. Before he took over at Purdue, he was the defensive coordinator at Illinois for 2 seasons. Before he arrived in 2020, Illinois ranked 97th in FBS in scoring defense and 114 in total defense. In his first year, 29th in scoring defense, 49th in total defense. And then in year 2, in 2022, he coached the Illinois defense to the number 1 ranking in scoring, allowing 12.3 points per game, and number 2 in total defense at 263.8 yards per game. Also the co-defensive coordinator at Missouri when Josh Heupel was on staff there.
Gotcha. Man, I'll be honest with you. If it is Walters or, just whoever he chooses to bring in, my thing is this. I just hope they have an understanding. It's going to sound cocky as heck when I say it.
Okay.
I just hope he has an understanding for what the SEC is going to ask of him. Like, even in my personal opinion, the conversation behind Ohio State is Ohio State's recruiting SEC talent. Notre Dame, same conversation, SEC talent.
And going up against SEC tackles and SEC wide receivers.
Exactly.
For sure.
But here's the thing that I will take, because Josh Heupel ain't the SEC coach. He played at Oklahoma, and he coached in the Conference USA, or is it American?
He was in the American, but he coached in the SEC and in the Big 12.
Yeah.
And he coached at Missouri, and we knew that Josh Heupel's offenses were going to be good.
Yeah. I just want a competent guy that looks and sounds like week in and week out is going to be hell to pay. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want. I'm talking about from day one, guys look like they're excited about the game plan. And the other part, too, is, man, at some point, somebody's got to duplicate what Kirby Smart's doing as far as having a mindset of sending a bunch of guys to the league. Now, Kirby's also that type of guy. He's recruiting those types of players.
They're recruiting those talents, for sure.
They're recruiting those talents, but the Vols defenses that we know and love, those Al Wilsons, those Albert Haynesworth, those John Hendersons, those Gerard Mayos, Eric Berries, like, Tennessee has a history of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, get that history of sending guy after guy, year after year to the draft too. I'm a huge advocate for that. Like, I love winning for the Vols, but I love a bigger representation in the NFL.
Sure. And honestly, under Josh Heupel, Tennessee's had more of a representation with their defensive players than with their offensive players. When you talk about Byron Young with the LA Rams' new version of the fearsome foursome up front of that defensive line, obviously James Pierce Jr., Omar Norman Lott, who I know he's dealt with injuries, and then Jalen McCullough as well.
Yep.
With the LA Rams. Alontae Taylor, another one. Starting for the New Orleans Saints, who will be here playing against the Titans in the stadium right behind us in a couple weeks.
He should get a bag this offseason, too.
Yeah, he should. Other names to watch, the VolQuest hot board also includes Colin Hitchler, the defensive coordinator for college football playoff bound.
If you don't mind,
James Madison.
So I can get them a coaching name, too. Coach Hitch. Okay.
Coach Hitch.
Okay,
all right.
Coach Hitch.
First year with that defense that's ranked second in yards allowed per game in FBS. Co-defensive coordinator and safeties coach at Alabama. In 2024. Same role with Wisconsin in 2023. Corey Batoon from Missouri is another guy that's on this list. That Missouri defense was nasty this season. Had a really good front seven with Zion Young and those guys. Nick Benedetto at Fresno State. Defense that ranked 14th this year at 293.5 yards per game. He's another guy that's mentioned here. Doug Belk, USC defensive backs coach. You might be thinking, like, USC? We really want defense from USC? That's a much, much, much improved USC defense. That was not a bad football team this year, USC. Chris O'Leary at Western Michigan. Jim Knowles is going to be a really popular candidate. I don't know if he's got any kind of relationship with Josh Heupel. He was obviously the defensive coordinator for the national championship winning Ohio State Buckeyes a season ago. Was at Penn State this year. Obviously things didn't work out at Penn State, but the defense was still pretty good, and could be also a candidate to be retained on Matt Campbell's new staff at Penn State. Formerly the DC at Oklahoma State and Duke, was the head coach at Cornell from 04 to 09. Shout out Andy Bernard, go Big Red. And then you have Will Muschamp that's on this list, who is a Georgia analyst right now. His son plays quarterback at Vandy. And I don't know, somebody maybe you call. Any name that sticks out there, or you just you open to letting the process play out?
I got PTSD about that, man. Last time we went through a Georgia assistant or whatever, man, was Jeremy Pruitt.
Well,
I'm joking a little bit, but I know Will Muschamp is capable.
To be fair, I think if Tennessee had hired Jeremy Pruitt to be a Tennessee defensive coordinator, he may have had some success. He just clearly was not cut out to be a head coach.
Yeah, I guess my only point is the name recognition sometimes just won't do it for me anymore. That's my point. Will Muschamp, like I said, is a very respected coach. He's in an analyst role right now. I'm not sure what his role is at UGA, but most definitely somebody that you should consider, considering he understands his league, specifically on the defensive side of the ball, too. It's just go with the right fiery, just tone-setting guy, too. Like, that ain't too much to ask in today's world when you have so much accessible to you as a coach. I'm not sure he's going to get 2.1 or 2.3, whoever it is that Tim Banks was getting, but the idea that it should be a respectful name, I'm all in the boat on that.
Well, there's one thing that's for sure. You got to get a defensive coordinator that knows what he's signing up for in terms of the offense on the other side of the ball.
No doubt.
And someone who is going to not run away from but embrace the fact that the offense is going to run tempo. You're going to get put in tough spots. You're going to be asked to run your defense back out there on the field quickly. Do you have a simple enough scheme where guys can play free and fast? How do you prepare players to not have a whole lot of time on the sideline and succeed in sudden change? That's the thing that coaches are going to have to illustrate to me if I'm Josh Heupel. How are you uniquely positioned to handle this offense being on the other side of the sideline?
No doubt, and that has to be a hard conversation.
No doubt.
It needs to be, too.
I think there are some people that won't shy away from that. I think there are others who are. That's what they got to figure out.
To me, it's still a good job, especially with who you're going up against.
No question.
This could be a situation.
No question.
You come in and kill it like this. I mean, honestly, you set yourself up for a head coaching job somewhere.
Head coaching job or an NFL coordinator job.
And real coach got a couple of them now. Well, no, he's got one under his belt right now at Kennesaw State. Jerry Mack.
Heupel's got like 4 head coaches now.
Okay.
Jeff Lebby at Mississippi State, Jerry Mack at Kennesaw State, Alex Golish at Auburn.
Sure does.
And
sure does.
Yeah, no, he's got coaches he's put in head coaching positions everywhere. Yeah. Coming up, we are going to continue here from the 18th annual Toyfield Toy Drive, presented by A.O. Smith and Wayne's Pest Control, inside the South End Zone Plaza between gate 8 and 9 of Nissan Stadium. There was a headline last night, Ramon, that I don't think I just did a double take. Not a triple take. I feel like LeBron. Not 1, not 2, not 3. I did a quadruple take on a headline that I'm still not sure is 100% real. But it is, and we're going to talk about it coming up next.
Smashville hockey. Around here, it can sound like a language of its own. But hey, if you can pronounce Demumbrian, then names like Yossi, Shea, Marchessault will roll right off the tongue. Nashville Predators, only in Smashville.
One of the largest sports books east of the Mississippi, Circa Sports Kentucky, is now open. Catch all your favorite games on an 80-foot screen with stadium-style seating and live VSiN broadcast daily. Circa Sports, now open at the Mint Gaming Hall, Kentucky Downs.
My dad and I used to golf together all the time, but when he hurt his back, it was over.
To have your son want to spend time with you is amazing. That's why my chronic back pain has been so heartbreaking. Surgery, fused bones, long recovery. No way, not for me. A friend recommended stem cells, so I gave Kellum Stem Cell Institute a call.
I'm glad you're out on the course.
Yeah, it's really good.
Call the Kellum Stem Cell Institute today. Swing still looks just okay, though.
Selling your home can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, no stress. Work with the #1 real estate team in the U.S. and close with confidence. Go to markspain.com today.
I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on me. I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams.
I love living in Middle Tennessee. We've got great restaurants, entertainment, sports, and one of the nation's top Ford dealers right here in our backyard. Two Rivers Ford. Remember that name. Two Rivers has been a staple in our community since 1983. They're locally owned. They have a non-commissioned sales team, and they sell below MSRP. They've been doing business with integrity for decades. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
.702, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Week 14 of the NFL season wrapped up last night as the Chargers take down the Eagles in overtime, winning 22-19. Despite having surgery last week on his non-throwing hand, Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert threw for 139 yards, a touchdown, and an interception, as well as rushing for 66 yards on the ground. The Chargers defense had a big night as they intercepted Jalen Hurts 4 times, including once in overtime, to seal the win. In NFL news, the Colts are planning to bring in retired quarterback Phillip Rivers in for a workout today. The move comes after Daniel Jones suffered a torn Achilles on Sunday against the Jaguars. Rookie backup Riley Leonard is expected to get the start, but 44-year-old Phillip Rivers could be an option, at least as an emergency case. Rivers played for the Colts back in 2020, where they went 11-5 and made the playoffs that year. And in college football news, the 2025 Heisman finalists were announced last night. Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love, Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia, and Ohio State quarterback Julian Sayin are all headed to New York. And the ceremony is this Saturday, December 13th. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans involves. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into hour number 2 on this Tuesday morning. Hope you're having a good start to your day. We can make it even better by giving to Salvation Army's Forgotten Angels program, by bringing a new unwrapped toy or gift or something that would keep your grandparents warm. A gift for a senior. That's what we are asking to fill up this Toyfield at our Toyfield Toy Drive, sponsored by A.O. Smith and Wayne's Pest Control. Today at Nissan Stadium, we will be here in this tent. We have got a heater near us between gates 8 and 9 south end zone. It is your first left into the stadium area off of the Korean Vets Bridge. It is your second right into Nissan Stadium off of the interstate exit if you're coming off that way from the east side of town heading westbound on Korean Vets Boulevard. Ramon, 1 hour in.
1 hour in.
Temperature-wise, how are we feeling?
I'm starting to feel a little bit in the toes, but all in all, I'm decent.
Okay.
I'm decent.
Right.
Like, we got this plastic shield behind us right now. And listen, that a good old American Power starting up over there, okay?
When you're starting your car right now?
I did start my car.
Go get a little warm commercial break here in a few minutes.
I told you, yes. So I packed gym shorts though.
You did.
And in there,
you are in shorts for those who are just now joining.
So
us.
I packed the gym bag is what I mean.
Yes.
If you're watching your Zone TV, you see me freezing right now because I packed to work out inside, and I thought we were in the studio this morning because my mom was racing this morning. But either way, I packed some wool socks in my gym bag for post the gym because I'm gonna get in the steam room, get all warm, and I'm gonna make sure I'm all bundled up. So I got some wool socks in my bag out there that I'm gonna go double up because it's usually the feet in the hand that get you. Like, legitimately, I'm not overly cold.
Okay.
I'm just
the extremities.
I'm more embarrassed for myself.
Well, that's okay.
I'm a fool this morning is what I'm telling you, man. The moments that I get on my kids about forgetting stuff, shush it, Dad.
Well, I feel bad for you. I wish I had something like a coat I could offer you.
Bad for me, man. This is what the job is for. Only thing I could have an open complaint about how WTN is out here with us though too. Some people are showing up 2 hours late, but I ain't no hater like that. It's just I'm cold and I'm agitated a little bit. Look at Jackson over there with some dance moves. I ain't know he can move left or right like that.
Well, how do you think 44-year-old Phillip Rivers could move left to right, Ramon?
Bad.
Because today, according to multiple reports, he is going to meet with the Indianapolis Colts about playing quarterback. Like, he's not there to film a Christmas promo. He's not doing a commercial. He's not there to coach the quarterbacks. With Daniel Jones out for the season because of a torn right Achilles, and now backup Riley Leonard dealing with a knee injury, the Colts apparently could go to Phillip Rivers. So it is unbelievable that it's gotten to this point, Ramon. But the only quarterback on their roster is Brent Rippon.
Love that.
Right now. At the very least, they need someone to step in and be an emergency quarterback. What can Phillip Rivers offer the Colts at 44 years old?
I heard Aaron Rodgers say this when the Steelers brought in Adam Thielen this week. Just a veteran presence, a calming sense. That, like, the football side of it is, he know what the heck he's doing. And it's that, to me, is what they're going to be asking him to do, man, to salvage what they have, to not waste away Jonathan Taylor's just year that he's had so far. They're 8-5. Their owner, man, what's her name? I got
Carly Ursay Gordon.
Ursay Gordon. She's big into. There go Savage pulling up with a blanket for me. Let's go. Let's go.
I love that.
Came from Brentwood for you, boy, man. But her mindset, I think, is going to be aggressive. And this is an aggressive move for them to bring him out of retirement. But she's also trying to set, in my personal opinion, a standard of what the Colts are post her dad. I think she has a whole lot of pride in saying, I'm not going to be the reason we go into purgatory. I'm not going to be the reason why we don't have answers. And I feel like this will be a move that her dad would make in these type of situations. Heck, he has made this move before, been a part of it. Phillip Rivers pulled this stunt before.
So unclear if he's in football shape, according to the reports, and ESPN.com saying, he would have intimate knowledge of the Colts' offensive scheme and his working relationship with Coach Shane Steichen as well. So they worked together when Steichen was the Chargers OC before Rivers' one season with the Colts. With Phillip Rivers, in 2020, the Colts were 11-5. They made the playoffs. They were an AFC wildcard team. They lost to Buffalo in a first-round game. And then a couple weeks later, Rivers retired. He was going to be Hall of Fame eligible this upcoming offseason. And that clock would restart if he did play a snap.
So the NFL, a year removed from your last game, last play, you get a severance package.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a nice severance package. You play double-digit years and stuff, man. He's gotten his severance package, is what I'm telling you. Okay,
he's double dipping.
He's double dipping at this point, man. And I honestly can't believe that he's actually doing it. I almost want to play the old Michael Jackson song because he's got 4 teams that he's got to play with really good defenses. All I want to really say is they don't really care about us. To send him to Houston, Jacksonville's defense.
That's elder abuse is what that is.
Thank you.
Putting a 44-year-old Phillip Rivers in front of the Houston Texans defense is elder abuse.
Look at the defenses at the Seahawks. The San Francisco 49ers are a good defense, or at least physical. Jacksonville will try to get – how much movement are you expecting? Like, it's commendable that they're not saying to hell with the season, right? Like, you got to give them that. Are they still in the graphic also as far as the playoffs go?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're firmly in the hunt. Firmly in the hunt, yeah.
Yeah, and that to me is where it becomes, like you said, just an issue in which they can – Savages text me. An issue in which they can say we're never out on each other. I think it's aggressive. I think it can be smart. And if it pays off for him, she's going to look like exec of the year at this point, man.
Yeah, it's I think Chris Ballard would be the executive of the year. I mean, more so than – I don't know how much Carly Ursay-Gordon has to say in this. I think this is more of a football decision than it is an ownership decision, honestly. But again, I mean, if you're looking at quarterbacks who make sense, who know the system, I mean, I guess that part of it makes sense. Here's my question, Ramon.
Yeah.
Why not call Ryan Tannehill?
I think
he's 7 years younger.
I think is the answer that you gave, though, to his familiarity with the offense.
I know, but
he can just hand it off.
At what point? Right. Like,
yeah, that's true.
And if all you need is an emergency quarterback, like what are you asking this quarterback to do is my next question. Is this person being asked to start for you this upcoming Sunday? Is this person being asked to be Brent Rippon's backup? Are you the emergency third quarterback if Riley Leonard does go but can't finish the game? Like, I don't know. The one thing I think that is interesting out of all this, and James Boyd of The Athletic wrote this, Phillip Rivers was drafted 2 years after 23-year-old Riley Leonard was born and actually knows him very well. So Riley Leonard is a Fairhope, Alabama native. His parents live 5 minutes from Phillip Rivers, which is interesting to me.
He's dad.
I know. So they have trained together several times, apparently, in recent years, Riley Leonard and Phillip Rivers. Maybe you are just looking for someone who knows the guy that you are probably putting in at quarterback. Like, again, it's a week-to-week knee injury for Riley Leonard that he reported to the team yesterday. That is the reason why we are at this point, because otherwise he was going to be the guy moving forward.
I would also throw in there, too. I mean, you asked that question. It's got my mind spinning a little bit. What are they actually trying to save? I would have thought, a draft pick that they also traded away to the Jets, but that makes no sense either because the more they win, the better the Jets draft pick is for themselves too. To me, I think it's honestly a standard of what a Colts is, how they want to go about their franchise not falling off a cliff and just looking hopeless for years to come.
Yeah, just how valuable is that when you're 44?
I'm with you. Ryan Tannehill makes sense to me. They can't trade for anybody else right now.
No, they can't, right?
And everybody else is on the Hall of Fame slate as far as the veteran quarterbacks that you know and you trust. They can't trade for anybody. So he, to me, is the best option available to him.
Whew. Brutal. So should he start on Sunday, it would mark 1,800 days since his last NFL game, third most days between starts among quarterbacks who did not play between them. Frank Tripucka went 2,800 days in 1960
You
between
get on
starts.
camera. And
Welcome, Ron Slay.
This is what brotherly love looks like.
This is a real one right here. This is a real one. So Ramon accidentally dressed in shorts this morning. Ron Slay is here with a coat,
sweet brother
a blanket. He's got gloves. We asked you, the listeners and the people, to bring us gifts for children, toys, gifts for seniors. Ramon Foster now has gifts from Santa Slay.
Yes, I do have it from Santa Slay.
Santa Slay has rolled in, and Santa Slay is coming through. This is the teamwork that we've got. This is the brotherhood of Ramon Foster and Ron Slay, and perfect example here.
I'm ready to go work out. I told you I was. I'm trying to beat the gym rats before the New Year resolution people, man, that come in and crowd the gym.
Right.
I'm beating them to the punch now is what I'm telling you.
We will let Ramon now get outfitted with all of his warm clothes.
Nice.
Live from Toyfield, 18th annual Toyfield Toy Drive here at Nissan Stadium. When we come back, who are the contenders for the Super Bowl in the NFL right now? Who do you trust and who do you not trust next?
Everybody come join us on Tuesday, December 9th at Nissan Stadium. It is our 18th annual Toy Field, where we gather toys for underprivileged children.
I couldn't imagine if I woke up in the morning on Christmas and my kids were there like expecting something and there was nothing. So going out and buying the toy or finding a scarf or something cozy for an elderly person, just to me is it's a way of giving back for all the good things that we've been given.
It's a wonderful thing to see how Nashville comes together to support each other. And we know this has been a tough year for a lot of people, so this is going to be even more of a special time for us to come together as a community and support each other during the holiday seasons.
When giving a gift fills you with more joy than getting a gift, then you begin to understand the joys of Toyfield, which is a wonderful event put on by Cumulus Media.
So join us on December 9th. That's a Tuesday at Nissan Stadium. We will be there and we can't wait to see you and all the toys that you bring.
Live from Nissan Stadium, Ramon and Will rolls on. Our 18th annual Toyfield Toy Drive, sponsored by A.O. Smith and Wayne's Pest Control. Today inside the South End Zone Plaza, between gates 8 and 9 at Nissan Stadium until 6 p.m. We are building a field of toys today, as we do on this day every year, benefiting the Salvation Army's Forgotten Angels program, asking for your help while you're out doing holiday shopping. Maybe you were not planning to, and you hear us this morning, you're like, you know what? I'm going to come by C3HL and bring a toy later on the way home from work. That is exactly what we are trying to get, exactly what we want you to do. An extra new unwrapped toy or gift. We've just got a bunch of basketballs that were put in front of us. I brought a football and a soccer ball, sports stuff, dolls, warm things for like things your grandparents would need for the elderly, all great things. We are in the South End Zone between gates 8 and 9. Come by and see us. Easy to find. Signs that are out there marking the way. It is quick and easy. You can even have curbside drop-off. You don't even have to leave your car or your seat warmer.
No, you don't.
What are you doing?
I'm seeing some water drip on me right now.
Uh-oh.
Listen, now shout
like
out,
that.
Shout out to the Hoopers, okay, because Ron Slayer's a Hooper himself, and most Hoopers have an assortment of things in their vehicles to be ready at all times. And Savage was ready to come keep me warm this morning.
Yeah, a real one.
He brought me a jacket. I told him if he's ever in a pinch, Will, just hit me up, okay? It's just where I'm at, man. And I'm there. I'm Johnny on the spot for him because he warmed your boy up this morning. I can't believe me, but it's not about me. Bring a toy out to the Tennessee Titans Stadium today, man. Seriously, we always talk about what we want for Christmas. How about giving something for Christmas this year, man? Because people suffer in silence more often than we know. And this time of the year is where people don't mention stuff, and it's on us to kind of provide.
Do I need to move now that we have you have water?
Yeah, I think the heaters are causing condensation on top of the roof.
Kirby Allen Kirby, our Renaissance man, we've got water dripping on us over here in our corner. So
it's just my day.
There is a rain cloud over Ramon Foster's head today, like in old cartoons, unfortunately, and I hate that.
I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to go play the lotto. It's got to turn at some point, right? Bad days, bad situations. Yeah, I think it's the condensation from the heat.
Interesting.
It's in one spot, right over me.
This is just not ideal. All right, well, we'll figure that out.
We'll figure it out. It's just dripping right here in between my legs. No biggie at all. We're going to do the show must go on, Kirby Allen Kirby. Kirby with a Y.
Who are the real Super Bowl contenders? So yesterday, doing Monday Night Titans and talking with Taylor Zarzer last night, he asked me a good question that kind of got me thinking about the San Francisco 49ers. And we'll talk more about them tomorrow on the show as we get ready for that. And as you know, Titans Radio and the Titans get ready to head out back to the West Coast. But Ramon, he asked me if the 49ers were a Super Bowl contender. I kind of had to think about that one because who's playing for the 49ers in January, right? A team that is perennially injured, a team as physical and as tough as they play, always seems to be without a lot of players. Then I was kind of looking around the league. There are a lot of other teams, I think, that are in that same boat. The Ravens are always in that same boat. The Detroit Lions are always a very injured team, and they are again this year.
Chargers.
But when you look especially at the AFC and you look and see the teams that are at the top, there are a lot of question marks at quarterback among good football teams, Ramon. Yeah. So I want to go through both conferences. Who are the contenders that we trust in the NFL right now? Teams that you feel like are legit Super Bowl contenders, because it feels like to me, Ramon, more than ever, the really good teams have bigger flaws more than they ever have, and this could be one of the most fun NFL playoffs we have had in a long time, because I think legitimately any team that makes it could make a run.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's how I feel about it. Like the teams that we're going to discuss here, I also look at these situations and kind of say, to the ones that do have quarterbacks, how much do I trust them? How much do I trust the coaches? Have they ever been in these type of situations before? Also, I think plays a part in it too. And specifically, I'm talking about New England. You know, it's just one of those teams that we'll discuss here. You mentioned the San Francisco 49ers in the conversation that you and Taylor Zarzer had. I look at the 49ers and I still say they're without Fred Warner. The defense is relatively new. Palazolo is calling it the way you need to, but legitimately, who are the real weapons as far as wide receiver? I love what Christian McCaffrey is as a football player. He checks every single box, but I also got to go with Christian McCaffrey's history. How long are you going to have him?
His wear and tear. Yeah.
His wear and tear, because they are giving him the ball. Watching their games, man, it's like Christian McCaffrey, C-Mac. Like, it's constant. And then, to be real with you, what version of Juwan Jennings you going to get?
Juwan Jennings? I mean, how about Brock Purdy?
Who's just now getting back also.
And the same thing could be asked about Sam Darnold with Seattle, with considering what his last act looked like last year.
Yeah.
So let's start in the AFC. Let's start with New England, since you brought them up.
Yeah.
Legit contender?
Yes.
I mean, you win 10 straight games in the NFL. I don't care if you beat the 10 worst teams in the NFL. The gap between good and bad in the NFL is so thin that, yeah, you win 10 straight games in this league. I absolutely agree with you. I think we cannot discount now who they are, now that they have a double-digit win streak.
Okay, now here's the cool part for them. Top 10 in points scored a game?
Yes.
And top 10 in points allowed a game.
Correct.
Also. Top 5,
and to me, that is the number one thing I personally look for when I try to differentiate contenders from pretenders this time of year, Ramon.
Yep.
Can you win a game in the teens or can you win a game in the 30s? Because in order to make a run and win a Super Bowl, odds are you're going to have to grind out an ugly defensive game, and odds are you're going to have to win a shootout along the way.
That's true. Now, I will say this, and I'm going to do it on purpose. I don't want to minimize them, but I'm going to minimize them, okay? The same way we can say, well, the Titans are bad because they're playing against a fourth-place schedule, but they got the best fourth-place schedule out here. The New England Patriots are playing against a fourth-place schedule, too. They played a very erratic Joshua Allen. They beat them 23-20. They played the Panthers. They lost to the Steelers, what is that situation? They beat Miami in Miami. They played a bad Cleveland Browns team. They played a bad Atlanta Falcons team. Of course, all right, they go to Tampa and win at Tampa, but what is Tampa at this point right now, too? Losing to the doggone Saints, okay?
Yeah, that's 7-6 now, Tampa.
And then, of course, Bengals and Giants. If we can criticize the Titans for being bad, we can also criticize them for being good, too. I don't know what Drake May is going into this situation. What I do know is this. Momentum is real. They're very well coached, and their stats back up what's been placed in front of them. I just want to see this Drake May, in your personal opinion, in my personal opinion, have that playoff switch.
Yeah.
Is that team good enough to get rid of the fluff, right, that they're playing right now? And when it's real playoff time, are they going to be that good? Do I think they're contenders? Yes. Do I still have a huge question about them? Absolutely, because I feel God, I hope this ain't real because it played that way. I feel about Drake May right now in year 2 the same way I felt about Patrick Mahomes. Show me.
Ooh.
And he did.
And he did over and over.
And he did.
Mm-hmm.
That's problematic for the rest of the AFC.
It is. It is. Top 10 in total offense and defense, like you said. New England still has to host Buffalo this upcoming weekend, go to Baltimore, visit the Jets, and host the Dolphins. What about Buffalo? Super Bowl contender?
I don't trust Josh Allen. I don't trust if he going to be able to find just a cluster of wide receivers that's going to constantly make plays for him.
I think it's more that part than it is trusting Josh Allen. I think it's do I trust Josh Allen's weapons?
But Josh Allen, to me, in those moments, man, like looking at the Phantom Miami game that they lost, he does too much at times.
He's got 10 picks again this year. He's made more mistakes. He also is completing 70% of his passes, which is on pace for a career high right now.
So is that part of it for me? The defense is fine. The offense is doing well, too. It's just in big moments, he makes them or he breaks your back. You know what I'm saying? Also, like the teams that win Super Bowls don't just win them because they're just explosive and, hey, there's a level of just ooh, and to the play. Good teams, even as wild as the Kansas City Chiefs offense was, there was a method to it. There's no method to what the Buffalo Bills are doing right now.
Well, I mean, I think there's a method. I just think can you take away James Cook? Can you take away the targets, like who's healthy, right? Because the Bills just have no margin for error for any of those weapons to be out.
They don't.
And with Dalton Kincaid out, we've seen what that has meant for Josh Allen in the pass game, because the tight end position is so important for them.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I agree with you that I've got to see Josh Allen string together 3 or 4 not erratic, let's put it that way, performances in January to really believe. But again, like, he's done that, and then just Patrick Mahomes has been the other quarterback. And it's hard to really judge some of these quarterbacks and judge guys like Josh Allen because, again, the margin for error is non-existent, considering who he has to throw to and typically who's on the other side, which is Patrick. Which is not going to be the case this year because I don't think Patrick is even getting in the dance this time.
I don't think he's getting in also. But to me, Josh Allen is fun. I need him to be a little bit more adult about it. And I'm being very critical of him because Josh Allen gets a pass to me. Almost the same way Trevor Lawrence get the hope creed all the time, man. You look at him just like, yeah, but what has he done? And I know he's running to the trench monster, right? But now there's a new one that's already beaten him in New England by the name of Drake May.
Yeah,
you didn't win
one
that
game.
one.
Well, let's see what happens this Sunday.
That's true. I'll give him that, which is why I'm being very critical because like now it's about to get tight.
Right. To me, the bigger issue with Buffalo is they can't stop the run. And they're moving forward into an era of the season when in cold weather you got to be able to stop the run. And they're 29th in run defense efficiency this season in yards per attempt allowed. Still the number 10 total defense of the league. I worry about their run defense helping them in cold weather. AFC South teams. Is there a Super Bowl contender, Ramon, in the AFC South?
Houston.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree. I think with that defense, anything is possible. They are 4th in the league with only 10 turnovers on offense. That has to continue.
Yeah.
Got to be better in the red zone on offense to take advantage of short fields when they're given to you by the defense. That has to continue. It did on Sunday Sunday night against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
The Jags, to me, still just don't have the quarterback play needed to be a contender.
No.
I think they are a year away from being a contender, and I think they're probably ahead of schedule, Ramon, for a lot of the league. You and I talked a lot this offseason about how they were going to be better than a lot of people expected. That was actually assuming that Travis Hunter was going to be a big part of it, but he's not. They're kind of the team I expected them to be. They're a year away. They're good. Mm-hmm. They're probably a playoff team at this point. I don't think they're great.
No, I'm right there with you. I think they're very fine. They're a first-round exit type of team to me.
Yeah.
I just can't see them being constantly, playmakers when it comes down to a team. Right now, Brian Thomas Jr. and, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's his name?
Jacoby Myers right now.
Yeah,
being traded from Vegas. Playing well.
So they got those two, but how strong? Like, I'm into the personality types. And I don't know if Jacoby Myers is the Robin that he needs. Like, you tell me Travis Hunter's in that conversation. Well, if he's also included in that conversation, then it's a different story.
Right.
But you got to have a strong two.
You do. And I think they're just a little bit too run-heavy.
Yeah.
I think if they run into a defense that can take away Etienne and Tootin, then you got issues.
I'm a child.
I'm going to move on.
I'm a child. Oh, yeah.
AFC West. Broncos?
Yes.
I'm a little more hesitant on the Broncos.
I got them second round.
Yeah, to me it's tough because I feel like the Broncos' ceiling is the conference championship game. But then the tough thing about that is if you say that a team can make the conference championship game and the ball bounces their way in the conference championship game where they get 2-3 turnovers, then they can be a Super Bowl team. And all of a sudden, of course, they're a contender. Top of the standings right now.
Yeah.
Number 1 of the AFC West, number 1 of the AFC. I do think that is a team built for cold weather. When you look at line play, when you look at front seven, when you look at the ability to run the ball. No J.K. Dobbins again, but they've got R.J. Harvey. They've got Tyler Badie, the old Missouri running back.
Mm-hmm.
What is Bo Nix in the postseason?
I said that too quick as far as yes. I'm with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, this is the problem with NFL football and looking ahead in 2025. We'll do the NFC coming up after the break, but any team that I feel like, Ramon, has championship-level line play on offense or defense has a major question mark at quarterback. We are watching a real-time changing of the guard happen amongst contending teams, especially in the AFC. With New England coming back, with Kansas City taking a little bit of a step back, with Baltimore and Pittsburgh kind of being in purgatory, with Cincinnati having one of the worst defenses in NFL history that is just totally taking away anything that Joe Burrow can give them as he comes back from injury. And you've got Bo Nix and Drake May at the top of the AFC standings right now. I don't trust Bo Nix like I trust Drake May.
I'm with you. I've said this about Bo Nix time and time again. Like, a ball will just flutter, and at some point they're going to start going into the other team's hands. Like, he overthrows, and then next thing you see him, he goes on 2 drives that make him seem like, hey, he's the next coming of Drew Brees or whatever at that point in time. Here's what I will give Bo Nix. He's got one heck of a play caller and head coach.
He does.
He's got a guy that will tell him, hey, shut up, and matches his attitude. He got a guy in Sean Payton that's been there and understands that you're okay, but I put all my marbles with this defense. And that, to me, is the best thing that he's got going for him. As you mentioned, like, the support that he has is there. I do think they're probably one more wide receiver away or tight end away.
I think you're right.
From actually being a contender. I'm with you. I give them about a year. I probably give Jacksonville 2 years, if we're being honest about it. Or because of Sean Payton, I give him another year.
Well, and I think the thing with Denver, when you look at how they have allowed Bo Nix to be successful, it's so many screen passes, throws around the line. They're not asking him to do a ton. Denver could beat anyone. The problem is, can Denver beat 3 teams in a row playing that way? Like, that's the difference for me in terms of contending teams. Like, yes, if you just plucked the Denver Broncos and put them against the LA Rams today, and you took 1 seeds and put them in the Super Bowl, absolutely the Broncos could win that one football game. But in the same way that the 2021 Titans had a flaw of turnovers and a flaw of Ryan Tannehill interceptions, that's how I feel about Bo Nix elevating Denver. Because if you can take away one thing, or if you do have a game where the turnover luck doesn't go your way, do you have the kind of quarterback, do you have the quality of quarterback that can bring you out of it and make up for mistakes, make up for not being lucky, make up for injuries within one given game? And I don't see them as one of those teams.
Yeah, and again, looking at them, I'll put it this way. I think they took a step in the right direction. It's continually being in this conversation with how they beat Kansas City, how excited they were about that. Like, you have that aha breakthrough moment. That was huge for them. But, again, Bo was the one that when it gets tight, who's he going to and how is he making it happen? Because he, in my opinion, I ain't going to call him unstable because he's not having a bad year.
He's just not
trust him yet.
He's not next level. Right.
Yeah.
Like, who is going to earn trust is the question. We'll do NFC coming up next. 615-737-1045, live from Toyfield, sponsored by A.O. Smith & Wayne's Pest Control, today in the South End Zone Plaza at Nissan Stadium as we wrap up Hour 2 coming up next.
Synergex and Low T Center are the original MVPs of testosterone replacement therapy. They've been changing the lives of men across the country for over a decade. Since starting, a lot of the players have entered the field, but Synergex and Low T Center are the pros providing you with the most medically driven, results-focused, and winning approach to restoring the qualities of patient lives through hormone care. Let's talk to one of their patients. They will tell you TRT with Synergex and Low T Center, that has significantly changed your lives. So don't wait. Get into a center to get your test, man. You'll be wishing you did it sooner. Man, there's a testimonial from a guy who's just letting you know that testosterone can actually help. Real patients tell them every single day they got their energy back. They're doing better than ever at work. The wife and them feel like they're newlyweds again. At the gym, they're crushing it. They've even heard guys say they were depressed before and they weren't themselves. But Synergex and Low T Center with TRT changed all of that for them. Listen, I constantly tell you, we worry about the gym and how our exterior look. I'm here to tell you this, man. Go into a center and get your levels checked so that you can get back to your original self. You can book an appointment right now at trtmvp.com. That's trtmvp.com. You'll be wishing you did it sooner.
In this market, you need a local agent with years of experience and a proven track record. The real estate market in Nashville is hot, but it's difficult to navigate. You need my good friend, Bernie Gallerani. Hey, it's Will Bowling. Don't rely on that national agent that doesn't know you, doesn't know your neighborhood, or doesn't know or even really care about your goals. You need the Bernie Gallerani guarantee. Bernie Gallerani guarantees to sell your home in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it. There is no risk to you. Bernie will let you out of the contract at any time. He is the real estate agent who has the 30-day guarantee to sell your home. If not, he will buy it from you. So if you are ready, or maybe you are forced into making a quick move, time is of the essence. You need Bernie on your side. You need this phone number, 615-428-2644. You can Google Bernie Gallerani Real Estate or just head online to his website, BernieGallerani.com. Use the Bernie Gallerani guarantee to your side, to your favor. Bernie, the only real estate agent in Nashville, recommended by Barbara Corcoran of Shark Tank. Give him a call, 615-428-2644, online at BernieGallerani.com. Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, wrapping up the second hour live from Nissan Stadium. The 18th annual Toyfield Toy Drive continues. Ramon Foster and Will Bowling, Austin Price coming up in a half hour. Steve Palazolo of the 33rd team going to join us at 9:20. Going through contenders in the AFC and NFC. AFC, Ramon, we have got Patriots, Bills, Texans, Broncos. You good with those four?
I'm good with those four. That's a solid four right there, though.
No Baltimore?
No, nobody from the AFC North.
I don't think so either.
I don't know what Lamar is. I don't know what Aaron Rodgers is. I don't know if I trust Aaron Rodgers to get on a run.
Agreed.
The way the Green Bay version of him, I think we lost that in 2010.
Agreed. NFC, the Rams are a contender. No question. Rams the best team in football right now.
They're my favorite.
Me too. Me too.
They got everything that you want. I was talking to my 13-year-old last night. Like, I didn't know what Puka Nacua was or was going to be, but it's awesome to see him turn into a superstar in this league right now, man. The catches, the plays, the toughness, the run after when he's not a 4-4 type of guy. His catchability, I mean, he checks the boxes, man. God.
Seahawks?
I'm putting them in my top 4, yeah.
Definitely.
I am putting them in my top 4.
Definitely a contender to me.
Absolutely.
Number 2 scoring offense and defense. As long as Jackson Smith and Jigba is healthy, yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
What's your issue with them then? The same as mine, a quarterback? Do you get that version?
Yeah, I think the question is, did Sam Darnold turn into a pumpkin, as we've said so many times, last year in the playoffs because he's just not built for playoff football?
Pressure.
Or did he just have a bad game at a really bad time?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
we're going to find out.
So that to me is why, like, I know Denver's daggone good.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the questions I have about Bo Nix.
Quarterback league.
Going
in January.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Those are the questions I have. So I'm not saying, like, Denver wouldn't be a team. Not that anybody said it, that I was flawed in saying it, but, like, I thought about it, like, they got a real good team, supported by great defense and the coach know how to scheme you up. I question that time of the year for a young guy like him.
It's the same reason why I don't think the Chicago Bears are a Super Bowl contender. I don't think Caleb Williams is ready to make a run in the postseason to hoist a trophy.
I can watching him play last week.
83 quarterback rating, I think it was.
Yeah.
15th passing offense, second rushing offense. I mean, they can run the ball.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. But they're 27th in total defense, and they have a quarterback who's just a little too up and down for me when you can't run the ball. Like, what happens when the Chicago Bears get down early and they're forced to throw? What happens when they are forced to have the quarterback beat a really good defense? I think they're another team that is a year away.
Yeah, and I'm with you too. I think, to your point, maturity of Caleb is going to have to pay its dividends at some point too. Watching them against the Packers, I will say, like, he looks good.
He's got the talent. No one's ever doubted that.
No question whatsoever.
Yeah.
His decision-making and how that offense, and maybe it's Ben Johnson choosing not to rely on him so much just yet, but that last play when he threw that interception, he had, what's the wide receiver? The wide receiver one.
DJ Moore?
DJ Moore. Drifting right in front of that ball being picked off. And I'm just saying, like, he's got to have more of those moments where he knows he's got different layers and understanding his team. DJ Moore was right there, man. God.
Lions?
I got to.
I don't think so. I think they're too hurt again. Brian Branch now out for the season.
So how many are we putting in? 4?
No, I mean, however many you want.
Oh, the Lions are tricky.
I would
win
put
big games.
They can. They've lost some big games this year too,
and they got a veteran.
Lost at home to the Packers on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Packers, I think, are definitely a Super Bowl contender.
In.
Top 10 scoring offense and defense. They've turned it over 8 times this year. Jordan Love, I have question marks about. I just think they are good enough around him, and his floor isn't as low as some of his peers who we're talking about. Like Caleb Williams' floor is really dang low. Sam Darnold's floor we saw last year with the Minnesota Vikings in playoff. I don't know if Jordan Love's floor is that low.
I'm with you. And he's got the support of that dominant
He's got better team, 100%.
Yes, he does.
100%. What about the Eagles after last night's loss?
Nope, too many issues.
Think so?
Too many team issues.
I still believe in Philly. I do.
You do?
I think that defense, when healthy, is just as good as it was last year. I think when we've seen some of the defensive tackles and like the mixing and matching of Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis up front, when those two are on the field together, I still think it's maybe the best defense in football.
Man, I'm off that one. I've weaned myself off of that one. Watching that team reminds me of the 2018 Pittsburgh Steelers to me.
Okay. Started off hot.
You got everything you need. You got the wide receivers. You got the O-line. A couple of injuries hit you. Lane Johnson.
A.J. Brown is Antonio Brown.
Yeah. Like, I'm dead serious right now.
There's some similarities there for sure.
Got the running back and Saquon that's got everything. Like it. And then they got issues that find them their ways on the field, and that breaks a team when it gets tight, Will.
They are the ultimate, if you can't run the ball, you can't have success offense.
Well,
teams that are forcing, or teams that are good enough up front to force Jalen Hurts to beat them are having success because that offensive line for Philly is not the same level that it's been in the past.
No. And the other part, too, I'm making sure my game is right, but watching what the Chicago Bears did to him that game.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
If you like, that could be a matchup in which the Eagles are out right there. Like, are they strong enough to be a contender? 100% they're strong enough to be one. I just don't think they have the stability to actually do it, though, Will, in my personal opinion.
That's fair. And then we finish with the Titans' next opponent, San Francisco 49ers. Are they a Super Bowl contender, Ramon? Which was the question that sparked this whole topic.
No. No, they're not. I think they're a playoff team.
I think they're really reliant on one player in Christian McCaffrey.
Yes, and I like Brock Purdy, but is Brock Purdy that dynamic to make plays for you? Do they have dynamic wide receivers like Puka Nacua on their team that will continually make plays for you? Absolutely not. Christian McCaffrey is really good at the line of scrimmage and about 10 yards around it, but who's going down the field, and you need somebody to be able to go down the field for you like that. So
sure.
Playoffs, yes. Super Bowl contender, no. Like, and it's okay to actually say that too.
Yeah. I don't have Tampa or Carolina on this list.
No.
Tampa losing at home to New Orleans is a red flag. I know they got injuries themselves, but Tampa to me has not lived up to what I thought they'd be. I think Carolina's a year away from being contender status. They could be a Cinderella type team to make a run, win a couple games maybe in January, but year away. So contenders, we've got New England, Buffalo, Houston, Denver. Both of us, if we're saying contenders that both of us have together, Green Bay, Rams, Seahawks. That's it in the NFC. And not a lot of teams
I
you
feel
trust.
like it's disrespectful to leave the Eagles out.
I think they get the benefit of the doubt because, like Kansas City last year, that is the kind of team with the players that they've had, so many of them that have played in so many big games. I think they could turn it on when they need to. I can't quit the Eagles.
Bring us back.
I can't quit them. And they got their stupid tush push, too.
I'll say this. The league is closer to being more competitive than it's ever has been in this entire existence.
It's going to make great television in January.
One good cycle,
television.
I'll say this, as far as the draft and free agency go for the Titans, can have you in that Jacksonville
100%.
Carolina conversation.
You need an example of it? Look at New England right now.
Look at Carolina.
It can happen quickly. It can. We got Heisman finalists. We'll react to it, talk about who should win it. We'll hit hour number 3. Live from Nissan Stadium, 18th annual Toyfield Toy Drive continues on Ramon and Will after this.
Everybody come join us on Tuesday, December 9th at Nissan Stadium. It is our 18th annual Toyfield, where we gather toys for underprivileged children.
I couldn't imagine if I woke up in the morning on Christmas and my kids were there like expecting something and there was nothing. So going out and buying the toy or finding a scarf or something cozy for an elderly person, just to me is just, it's a way of giving back for all the good things that we've been given.
It's a wonderful thing to see how Nashville comes together to support each other. And we know this has been a tough year for a lot of people, so this is going to be even more of a special time for us to come together as a community and support each other during the holiday seasons.
When giving a gift fills you with more joy than getting a gift, then you begin to understand the joys of Toyfield, which is a wonderful event put on by Cumulus Media.
So join us on December 9th. That's a Tuesday at Nissan Stadium. We will be there and we can't wait to see you and all the toys that you bring.
8:02, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Week 14 of the NFL season wrapped up last night as the Chargers take down the Eagles in overtime, winning 22-19. Despite having surgery on his non-throwing hand last week, Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert threw for 139 yards, a touchdown, and an interception, as well as rushing for 66 yards on the ground, which led the team. The Chargers defense had a big night as well as they intercepted Jalen Hurts 4 times, including once in overtime, that sealed the win. In NFL news, the Colts brought in retired quarterback Phillip Rivers for a workout last night and reportedly now deciding what to do with their quarterback situation. Daniel Jones suffered a torn Achilles this past Sunday against the Jaguars, and rookie backup Riley Leonard's expected to get the start, but is dealing with a knee sprain. The 44-year-old Rivers could possibly be an option. And in college football, the 2025 Heisman finalists were announced yesterday. Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love, Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia, and Ohio State quarterback Julian Sayin are all headed to New York. The ceremony for the award is this Saturday, December 13th. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans involves. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second half of the show, off and running on Ramon and Will, live from the 18th annual Toyfield Toy Drive, sponsored by A.O. Smith and Wayne's Pest Control, South End Zone Plaza, where you can come see us today. And we hope you don't come empty-handed. We are asking for new unwrapped toys or gifts for a senior brought to Toyfield, helping fulfill the dreams of thousands of children and seniors in need this holiday season. You've got parking and curbside drop-off available to you as well at Nissan Stadium. Available here in Lot K in front of Gate 7 next to the South End Zone Plaza. You can drive by. You can drop off your unwrapped toy or gift. You will be here for maybe 90 seconds.
Yeah.
If you choose the curbside option, it will be fast, it will be easy, and your heart will be warmed, Ramon, because you will be impacting the lives of kids all around the area.
No doubt, man. It's the time of the year where it's super special to come by and do this, man. I'm glad to be a part of this. We've been doing it for a while. And listen, it's easy. Pick up something. I saw somebody drop off toy cars. I love a toy car, man. Do you hear me? Those die-cast cars. I saw one of those get dropped off. Barbie doll, basketball is out here. Footballs need to be out here. Listen, if you want to just bring a blanket, not for me.
Ron Slay had you covered.
Yeah, Ron Slay had me covered. Just bring a blankie for somebody, man. Somebody's had kids. Those be the things right there. Half kids. Those are the things right there when you're young, man, that you really do treasure.
We got Heisman finalists, Ramon.
Yeah.
4 of them. Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia.
Yay.
Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love. Ohio State QB Julian Sayin. And betting favorite Fernando Mendoza. My first question is, does Pavia have a chance to win the Heisman?
Yeah, I think he does. I think he has a strong chance. It'll be fascinating to see how the votes are actually accumulated and how they're broken up, but I definitely think he has a chance. He's got a lot of people support what he's done.
Sure.
And how they've gone about doing it. And if it's the best player in all of college sports, it's hard to argue that he's not one of those guys. I mean, clearly he's one of those guys, but he doesn't deserve a strong amount of votes. I'm in on the conversation of hearing how he should win it from people that believe it, though, too.
Yeah, first 10-win season, of course, in school history for Vandy. 3,100 passing yards, 27 passing touchdowns. So Fernando Mendoza, after the Big Ten championship game, was minus 3,000.
Yeah.
In Vegas at major sports books to win the Heisman Trophy. And he's moved down to minus 1,200. That is still a heavy favorite. However, not quite as heavy as he was right at the end of the Big Ten championship.
I personally think there's a lot of Diego Pavia backers.
There's a ton.
Yeah,
there's a ton. And not
ton.
Just because we're in Nashville.
No, absolutely not. Like, there are national people having conversations about Diego Pavia and his ability to win it. And what does the honor actually mean? Like, that's what the question's going to be this year. Is it because
the nation's most outstanding college football player?
Most outstanding college football player. God.
I think it's Mendoza. I think it should be Mendoza. I think what he did against Oregon on the road and against an Ohio State team that no one gave them a chance to beat in the Big Ten championship game. I know the stats don't jump out in either of those games, but the thing about this always is, Ramon, and it's consistent among Heisman voters. Heisman voters remember the last thing that they see. And the last thing that they saw of these four players was Fernando Mendoza with a big-time throw complete for a first down to Charlie B. from Nashville, Tennessee, as Gus Johnson said on the Fox broadcast, and Charlie Becker, who played his high school football at Father Ryan. Like, I think that matters. I think it should matter. I think winning on that stage against that defense and what Matt Patricia and Ohio State have done this season, I could care less, or couldn't care less. I just broke one of my pet peeves. I could not care less about the stats. He found a way to beat that defense and beat that team, and I think he has better performances and better wins against good teams more so than Diego Pavia did, because I think Diego Pavia, I'm not taking anything away from him, he would be my second-place vote if I had a vote. I think Diego Pavia did more against lesser defenses than Mendoza did. Just my opinion.
Travis Hunter is the reason why Diego Pavia is able to have this conversation, because this award to me went to an elite category, elite class of teams. You had to be from an elite ilk, I felt like, to get this award. Even looking at the wide receivers that have won it, right? And Devontae Smith, like, he comes from Alabama. You look at Travis Hunter winning, that's something unique about his career and how he played both sides of the football, the impact that he had individually for his team, even though what was Colorado last year, 6-16, 7-5 team, whatever they were. And I think it's opened the door for that conversation. Now, in Diego's defense, looking at the impact that he's done for Vanderbilt, making them relevant, the double-digit wins that they've had this year, how he's gutted it out and made himself a national item in the world of college football. He checks every single box that they have. The issue that Diego Pavia is going to run into this year, in my personal opinion, as to why they would justify him not winning it, is Indiana's in that same boat.
I 100% agree with you. I think you can tell that story more easily about non-traditional program gets to the top of the national stage behind one outstanding player more easily about Pavia if it wasn't also true about Mendoza.
That's the issue.
Because the people that are going to care about that can make the same argument for Fernando Mendoza as well.
Yeah, and the other part
totally
of it
agree
is
with you.
just if you're a voter, and I know our teammates here, Brent Daughter and Don Davenport, both are. They didn't disclose what they voted for yesterday because they're not supposed to.
Yeah, right.
But what I will say is this: Fernando has one thing going in his favor that I don't think Diego Pavia was able to do this year, even though he performed well.
Mm-hmm.
Diego didn't beat the Giants that he needed to.
And Fernando Mendoza did twice.
He beat, I think, because people are human, these vote getters,
I think it matters.
Probably don't like Ohio State. They respect the players, right? They can't say that out loud.
Mm-hmm.
But he went in and slayed the dragon, and that dragon is Ohio State. And a lot of people liked seeing that, if that makes sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, to me, again, if it wasn't for, in my personal opinion, Indiana being in the same boat as Vanderbilt, education school, not traditionally in these positions before, but they're both in big conferences, have historic years. The edge, in my personal opinion, does go to Mendoza and the moment. He had that moment.
He did have a bigger moment. I think the issue for Pavia is that he did not have 200 yards passing against a Power 4 opponent until November. That's the issue. In the months of September and October against P4 teams, 193 against Virginia Tech. I'll give him that one. That was such a separated score that they weren't throwing it late in the game. Honestly, same could be said for South Carolina. But also you can make that argument for Mendoza. Mendoza was also taken out of games early in the season because they were up by so much. 177 yards against South Carolina, 198 passing yards at Alabama, 160 against LSU, and 129 passing yards on 10 of 19 passing against Missouri. Then he gets hot in November, 365 against Texas, 377 against Auburn. That's his best game, in my opinion, of the year. What he did against Auburn, because that's a really good Auburn defense. And then he throws for 484 against Kentucky, and they're out there slinging it to pad his Heisman credentials. And again, as they should. Nobody's arguing that they should or shouldn't do that. I just think it's more signature moments for Fernando Mendoza. That to me, I think, is the difference.
Matching two credible wins that each one of them had to have, Oregon and Ohio State. Indiana got him with Fernando Mendoza, and sadly for Diego Pavia didn't get him against Alabama and Texas.
Right.
If he gets those Alabama and Texas games, and then
we're having a different conversation.
The blip that he had in the Alabama game, the fumbles like that, he chose the worst time to have his worst game, and they also lost.
That's true.
So
it's true.
But again, as far as impact, here's what I will say. Forever has changed, in my personal opinion, what Vanderbilt has stood for as a football program, and that's including Jay Cutler.
I will take nothing away from Diego Pavia. He was outstanding this season. Totally outstanding.
If there's ever a player to go into the Ring of Honor immediately after leaving, like Colorado did with Shador and Travis Hunter, it's Diego Pavia to Vandy.
Coming up, we will talk with VolQuest's Austin Price about what's next for Tennessee at defensive coordinator. How do we get here with Tim Banks fired by Josh Heupel? And how strong of a leader is the one name we discussed earlier, Ryan Walters, the defensive coordinator at Washington, sounding like it's going to be a quick hire. We'll see what names Austin Price has for us. As we broadcast live from Toyfield at Nissan Stadium, Ramona Will, as at the third hour of the show today, presented by Bright Credit Union, continues after this.
It's Ramon Foster here to tell you about my friends at Jewel Roofing and Exteriors, man. They are a trusted, family-owned Middle Tennessee company serving from Clarksville to Murfreesboro for over 25 years. Yes, Clarksville to Murfreesboro. So if you land anywhere in between, they will come to you. But here's the thing. They stand up about building relationships and earning trust through referrals, never through high-pressure tactics, door knocking, or storm chasers. The owner, Robbie Van Norman, man, is right here in this area. They live in our community, man. And here's the thing. They don't want to trick you like the big companies and saying, hey, you need a new roof, because more times than not, you're not going on top of your roof. So you got to believe what they tell you, not their case. Here's what they believe. You'll use them now if you need something done, or 10 years from now, but they want to be able to build that relationship with you by being honest and giving you an estimate that you may need, or just information about your roof. Listen, to learn more about Jewel Roofing, you can call them at 615-868-9999 or visit their website at jewelroofing.com. That's Jewel Roofing with 2 L's.com.
The best financial move you can make this time of year, how about lowering your mortgage rate to 4.99% fixed APR, the lowest rate in years? How about getting up to $500,000 out of your home equity in the process? You can do it now by calling Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Will Bowling. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get a ton of cash, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and skip up to 2 house payments. One homeowner just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, wiped out their credit cards and 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. Don't wait. No hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't even need an appraisal, just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. So act now. Call 615-499-5780 or visit loanpronto.com. Start the new year by wiping out all higher interest debt and lowering your bills by thousands. Call 615-499-5780 and see how much cash you can get today. loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Live from Toyfield at Nissan Stadium, Ramon and Will continues the 8 a.m. hour, brought to you by Inbright Credit Union. Alongside Ramon Foster, I am Will Bowling. We say it every week at this time, but we'll say it again today. Lots to discuss in Knoxville, and joining us to do exactly that is our good friend Austin Price of VolQuest and On3. Austin, good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
We're good. A year ago, we were sitting here at Nissan Stadium for our toy drive, previewing Tennessee, Ohio State. Today, we're talking about the defensive coordinator that helped Tennessee get to that game, no longer being a part of Josh Heupel's staff, Austin. How quickly things change in a year. Let's just start with the process of how we got here, Austin. How many meetings were there between Josh Heupel and Tim Banks to get to this point? What do you think led to this decision being made official yesterday?
Well, I think if you're Josh Heupel, you're going into year 6. You have to look at how things do change in a blink. You look at James Franklin, preseason ranked 2 or whatever it was, and 3 weeks after losing in overtime to Oregon, he's out. So, I mean, things can change in such a quick manner that if you felt like you were going in the wrong direction on defense or things weren't, what it needed to be and you felt like a change needed to be made, if you're Josh Heupel, you have to do it. Is that fair, unfair? I mean, listen, a lot of things in life aren't fair. Every year Tim Banks' defense got better statistically until this year. This year was the one year that it fell back hard, back into the ranked in the 80s. It's because the Carter situation, you can say because you lost your 2 starting corners. You can go a number of different routes. Either way, the defense struggled. And then I feel like it's probably headed this direction regardless. But the Vanderbilt game, to have no answers in the second half, to give up 45 at home, to a very good Vanderbilt team, but still, you give up 45 at home, and that's the part that it just kind of sticks with people, and probably stuck with Josh Heupel. And to be honest with you, I haven't seen Tim Banks the last couple of months. He didn't look like he was having a whole lot of fun either. So he gets $4 million to go and hang out on the beach at his beach house down in Florida, and if he wants to coach, I'm sure he'll have an opportunity to, and if not, then he'll be able to spend some family time. So Tennessee needed to go in a different direction, according to Josh Heupel. He's doing it, and now all the pressure is on who you hire and how they perform with Tennessee's defense next year, because as easily as you could flip it back around with the right hire and the right portal acquisitions, it could easily go the other direction, much like the thing that what James Franklin did this year. I mean, that's why it's such a finicky deal. You have to take it very seriously if you're any head coach in college football.
Austin Price of VolQuest and On3, our guest this morning on Ramon and Will. Pete Nakos has put out there Ryan Walters, the Washington defensive coordinator, as a name to keep an eye on. You guys have a hot board as well at volquest.com that people can go check out there. Austin, do you consider Ryan Walters a front runner at this point, or simply a logical name to start with, considering his history with Josh Heupel?
I mean, I think both things can be true. You could consider him, the name that makes the most sense, knowing Josh Heupel and his, tendency to care about his culture, what he's going to look for in a defensive coordinator, a history with a coach, all that. That one makes the most sense. Now, can they get to the point where they can cross all the T's and dot all the I's and get across the finish line, and that's the route he's going? We'll see. I mean, there's been plenty of times that, the coaches have basically been done to a school and things change, and one little hiccup causes the whole thing to fall apart. So we'll see if Tennessee can get to that point, if that's where he's going. But that's the one that makes the most sense at this point, as far as just kind of connecting a lot of the dots.
We're joined by Austin Press of VolQuest and On3. Austin, when you look at a change like this, though, too, a lot of the conversation before that happens is Josh Heupel doesn't do this, Josh Heupel doesn't do that. Is this just another step as far as, his pathway into being a better coach and recognizing your weaknesses and listening to him, whether that be from internally or just himself, and saying, I can't do the same thing over and over again? And what I'm asking is, does it raise questions to other, coaches that are on the staff that, hey, you're either getting better or you're getting moved on from?
Yeah, Ramon, I think when you're hiring a defensive coordinator, that coach has got to be able to bring in coaches that he wants on his staff. It's unrealistic to think, and they did this pretty much the first time around with the defensive staff. Tim Banks got to bring in Brian Jean-Marie, but outside of that, like Willie was already here, Rodney was already here at the time. Eckler, was a Heupel guy. And so I think, I'm not saying you're going to redo your whole defensive staff, but I do think that there'll probably be more change. That makes sense. And so at this point in time, I'm not sure you see it. Whoever you hire, I would venture to say that it would be smart of that person and Josh Heupel to, if you're making a change, if you know what position you want a position coach to come in here, you already have that done so it happens in one fell swoop. Again, you can't go into the portal season without a position coach, in my opinion. Now, you can. I just don't think it's very smart. Like, let's say Tennessee decided they were going to, not, to not, keep Willie Martinez. Let's just play hypotheticals here. Well, you need help in the secondary. So if the portal opens up and you don't have a secondary coach, then how are you going to land anybody? And I know, like in this instance, like if they hired Ryan Walters, he has a DB, history, right? But you still want to know who's going to be your day-to-day coach. So it's going to be interesting to see how all this plays out. Not just in Tennessee, all across college football, as teams try to avoid having empty spots when the portal is open. And so I do think there'll be more change just because that makes sense. I don't think whoever they hire as the defense coordinator is going to roll in here and just be like, okay, I'm good with the guys that were here before. Like, that's just never happens. I'm not saying that there won't be some of those guys back, because I do think there'll be some of them back. I just think there'll be more change down the road. Now, again, who do they hire? What's their specialty? What do they want to do? Do they want to be a walk-around guy? Do they want to coach a position? All that stuff can dictate what you do, how you do it, who's on your staff over the next month.
Austin, is it natural to kind of expect players to jump in the portal? I know they're going to jump in regardless, but do you think, in your personal opinion, I know we don't know this answer, but there will be a huge exodus of players because this has happened, or do you, with I guess, a knowledgeable eye, kind of see the flaws in that Tim Banks had with that defense and say, well, I get it, and you choose to stick around for the new guy? How do you kind of see that unfolding when that portal window opens?
I think it depends, Ramon. I really do. I think it depends on the position. I think it depends on kind of the feelings of the kid. Ultimately, kids want to get paid. And so if you're getting well compensated, I think you're probably a little more apt to listen to see who they hire, all that. Again, Tennessee's going to have a defensive coordinator before the portal opens. And so, I believe most kids would be, into sticking around. I don't think that it moves the needle in terms of like, oh, there's going to be a bunch of guys leave, not of the marquee guys that you want to keep. And so we'll see. I'm sure they're going to lose some, but I think they're going to lose some no matter whether they made the move on Tim Banks or not. You just natural attrition in this era.
Right.
Austin Price of VolQuest on 3. Our guest Tuesdays at 8:20 here on the show. Ramona Will live from Nissan Stadium for Toyfield. So, Austin, looking at the other coaches on expiring contracts, William Inge, Rodney Garner, Joey Halsley, Kelsey Pope, Darrell Sims, Kurt Schmidt, the strength coach. What is the timeline for more change, Austin? I know you all have reported at VolQuest that this one is one that's probably going to move pretty quickly. Do you anticipate the offense having some kind of attrition, and what is the status of that negotiation or lack thereof with Joey Halsley at offensive coordinator?
I don't anticipate anything in particular, as in like you felt like that there would be change on defense. You just did. I know the whole like Heupel's never fired anybody, all that stuff, but you just felt like, going into year 6, I think he understood where the program was, and sometimes you have to have change. And I think that's, coming out of the Vanderbilt game, that's where he was mentally. It took him a week to get to that point. And we'll see how quickly he gets this thing done with whoever he's hiring on the defensive side of the ball. Outside of that, we'll see. I mean, again, Joey Halsley had a contract extension sitting on his desk, so did Kelsey Pope, so did Rodney Garner. They chose not to sign them. They bet on themselves. I think Kelsey Pope bet on himself. He'll probably get handsomely rewarded. We'll see about Joey Halsley. And Rodney Garner, in my opinion, will have every opportunity to be back here as long as Rodney Garner wants to be back here in 2026. I think Halsley would be the same way. I'm just saying, I think Kelsey Pope in his production with his group and his production on the recruiting trail probably won himself quite a bit of off-season bumpage as far as money. So they just got to get the terms on all that stuff and get all the contracts signed.
Well, speaking of getting contracts signed, Austin, it is contract extension season for players in college football, something that many of us are getting used to covering and talking about in this sport. Where is Tennessee at with Arion Carter and his draft decision and Lance Hurd, Austin? What's a timeline for maybe getting answers on those two guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll hear something on Arion probably, sometime this week, maybe first of next week. Lance Hurd, I don't know. We'll see. To me, he's more up in the air than Arion is. I think Arion's a guy who, even with the double turf toe, is fairly well thought about there in NFL circles. And as far as I'm saying first round pick, but I mean, I do think that, they don't look at him as an undrafted free agent by any stretch of the imagination. And, I think, Arion's, working on a decision right now, but I do think you'll hear something from him probably, in the next 7 days or so. And we'll see where things go from there. But as far as Lance, I think that one's much more up in the air.
Austin, just looking at the class that the Falls closed out, man, top 10 recruiting class, third in the SEC if it still holds true. How much of an incorporation with Coach Heupel you think continue to live the way he did this past year with a lot of youth playing? It's a very talented class. Last year got a lot of players that, contributed to the team too. Is this going to be a Tennessee thing, or do you see them trying to go a little bit more veteran whenever this portal opens up, man? Because everybody's got to contribute or figure out what they are at that university, right? Whichever one they are. I just wonder, is this going to be Heupel's pathway moving forward with a lot of youth?
I don't think that will be necessary. I think this past year it was. I think they'll probably be a little more aggressive in the portal this year than they were a year ago. At least I expect them to be. And so it's all about going out and landing kids. Everybody will be aggressive in the portal. So it's easy to say Tennessee's going to be aggressive. Everybody has the intentions to be aggressive. You still got to go out and land them. And so look at Penn State. They have a new coach. They signed 2 kids in their recruiting class, which means they're going to go heavy to the portal, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they've dictated a bunch of money to the portal for Matt Campbell, they're going to be big spenders. And for kids in the portal, it's going to be interesting to see how many are willing to say, okay, I know Penn State's offering me blank, but I'm willing to go to Georgia for this amount, right, or Tennessee for this amount. Because I do think Penn State's going to have to overpay to try to overcompensate for their lack of a recruiting class and to give Matt Campbell a chance to be successful in year one, and that's a very easy schedule next year for Penn State. Whoever was replacing James Franklin was going to walk into a very much a cupcake schedule. Their toughest game is at Michigan. That's it. That's awesome. It. They don't play anybody else.
I mean to jump in on you right there, but revisiting a little bit this issue and I guess timeline with Legend Bay. He's out, I guess, early January when he's 18 and can sign his own transfer papers. How did all of this unfold? I've seen different reports, whether it be the mom had a deal, a brother, or uncle, whoever it was, but he wasn't on board, although he looked super happy on signing day. How do you explain this and, I guess, his best pathway forward, or do you beg him to come back if you the Vols?
Ramon, how I explain it is he's a 17-year-old, soon-to-be 18-year-old kid, and what do they have in common with my soon-to-be 13-year-old daughter? They're all over the map at that age, right? Okay. So he reached out to Tennessee on signing day, wanted back in. Tennessee was expecting him to go to Ohio State to start the day. Obviously, they would love to have him, so they take him. He's on the phone when he signs his scholarship papers. Josh Heupel comes in there, meets the media. Shortly after, I text him. He says he'll do the interview. He calls me. We're on the phone. I mean, it doesn't sound like he's being held hostage, does it? Now, if you're back and forth, you're torn, all of a sudden it's done, there's some finality to it, it's like, oh, did I make the wrong decision? I mean, that's the only thing I can go off of is he just had buyer's remorse because he was so wishy-washy through the process. And, you know, it is what it is. If I'm Tennessee, I just let him go. If he wants to go to Ohio State, let him go. I mean, like, you know, he's going to do whatever he wants to in the end anyways. Now, I would tell you this. To go in the portal, whether you're 18 or not, since he went ahead and signed, you have to go to class. Well, the portal closes before Tennessee goes to class. So technically, Tennessee doesn't have to let anybody that signed out of their deal like a Legend Bay if they don't want to. But I think Tennessee certainly would because Tennessee wants to do right by the kid. They don't want anybody feeling like that, you know, they don't want to be here and they're being forced to go here. So again, I think you're in the process right now of, you know, Tennessee talking to Legend Bay, getting all that stuff figured out. But he's certainly been a little bit all over the map, and I think that's what's resulted in kind of the story, and then of course a lot of the embellishments from, you know, certain parties to, you know, make it look like, you know, he was being held hostage when he was not.
Real quick, Coach Heupel need to take a slogan from Coach Tomlin, and he's used it time and time again. And I think it's because me and Cam Sutton were there, but we want volunteers and not hostages. We've dealt with hostages 3 times in the last year, and I feel like that's appropriate kind of moving forward, considering our namesake.
No doubt, pal. No doubt. I mean, again, and I think that's where they are with Legend Bay. You know, had Legend Bay just said, look, I want to be at Tennessee, nobody's blinking an eye, but because he was kind of a little bit all over the map on this deal, you know, I think Tennessee's, you know, in the end will probably be willing to let him out and go where he wants to go.
Wow. Austin, you've talked to a lot of recruits and covered a lot of recruiting. Where does this rank on weird recruitments that you've covered at VolQuest?
I mean, it's certainly up there. It's certainly weird just because the whole signing day thing. He's there. He's got his table and all that. I mean, you know, again, you're not calling me. Like think about all the things that, you know, I mean, the number of times that a kid has either not wanted to do the interview, answered and been like, oh, hold on, I got another call, click, and not call back. I mean, like in 20 plus years of calling recruits, like that stuff happens all the time. He didn't have to do that interview with me. Like, you know, I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, kid's a bit all over the map. He's a kid. It's okay. Right. And I think that's where Tennessee's at with it. Again, some of the embellishment of like he's being held hostage by other let's just call it what it is, the Ohio State media, is a bit much. But, you know, I mean, I would also tell you Ohio State was totally on the phone with him after he signed with Tennessee. So, I mean, pointing fingers, you know, you always got one pointing back at you or more. So, I mean, like, you know, it is what it is. Like, I mean, let the kid go do his thing. If it's at Ohio State, it's at Ohio State. If it's somewhere else, it's somewhere else. You know, let the kid be happy.
Yeah.
Austin Price of VolQuest and On 3 joining us Tuesdays at 8:20 every week here on the show. Austin, thank you. We'll do it again next week.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
All right, Austin Price with us here this morning. I kind of figured that was the case.
He said he was on the phone with him.
Austin was, yeah.
Did he do the full interview? I should have asked. He did do the full.
I read it the day he committed, or the day he signed.
I don't know what. I mean, he's a kid. Well, what I will say, I'm glad Tennessee and the people that cover Tennessee aren't making it seem like this is a bad situation. Let it be.
Just let it play out. And I think if we've learned anything about Tennessee football over the last couple of years, Ramon, if there's any early indication that someone might not want to be there, maybe you just go ahead and let them go.
I joke when I say this, but it's 100% facts. We want volunteers, not hostages, man.
Hour 3 of Ramona Will live from Toyfield, presented by Enbright Credit Union as we wrap up Hour 3 coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Medical House Calls. Man, I just want to let you know, if you are dealing with something this time of the year, That could be a cold, it could be an infection, injuries, you need your in-home labs done or testing. Medical House Calls is the company you want to use, man. MedicalHouseCalls.com is the website. They're available to you 7 days a week. I'm talking Monday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Same-day appointments are available, next day guaranteed. Also, I had the same-day appointment last week, man. I came in with a little ick. Just one of those mornings I wasn't feeling good. I did the show, went back home, man. Medical House Calls was at my house to administer me an IV. I promise you I felt like Superman later that evening, man. Whatever I had going on left, and that's what they can do for you also. Whether you need a little bit of hydration, man, or you feel a sickness coming on, or just got to get checked out. They want to bring the concierge to you when it comes to your medical assistance and the availability to you to get it done also. You can call or text them, or you can go to that website at medicalhousecalls.com, and they will set up an appointment for you. Same day is available to you. It's one of the best services I've ever used in my life, and I stand by it, okay? MedicalHouseCalls.com. Make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
Wrapping up hour 3 of Ramon and Will live from Toyfield at Nissan Stadium. We are between gates 8 and 9 here until 6 o'clock. In our third hour of the show this morning, presented by Enbright Credit Union. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, joined by Sharonda from Enbright Credit Union. You guys always bring it with the toys, with the vans full of stuff. How are you?
I'm doing good this morning. How about you?
We are great.
Are you nervous?
I am. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I just had to get it out the way.
Yeah.
So
At 5:59 a.m., I do as well, pretty much every morning. It's
Exactly.
Tell us about the haul that you guys brought in this morning.
We had a good time yesterday shopping for all of this. Shout out to the Walmart.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
They taught me how to make a trailer. It is a trailer with a basket.
Yeah. Oh, did they really?
Yes.
They hadn't taught me that one.
Well, you need to learn that.
Well, see, my wife is probably listening right now and is going, you don't even go to the store. But they taught you how to make a trailer and you just pull them
6
through.
baskets.
God,
Wow.
6 baskets.
Fantastic.
Yes.
If I was a kid in that situation right there, I'd have just tossed in everything. I'd have gone to the electronics department. I'd have put a random car tire in there for the heck
No,
of it.
you got to put in thought. You got to put in thought.
So it's not about me.
No, it's not about you. You've got to put in thought.
right.
Like, what are these kids
See?
like these days?
Yes.
You know.
Yes, that's true. See, I'm the problem. I'd have been in there shopping for myself. Ron wouldn't have known if I'd have put a PlayStation
If you would have
5
put
in there.
something in there.
Easily. But you didn't do that, though.
No, I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
Tell us about what you guys were able to get and bring to Toyfield today.
Well, we've got a couple of bumper cars.
Okay.
We've got some scooters, some bikes, some dolls.
Just an assortment of everything.
Just everything.
I saw one that, which they're awesome. I'm a football player, okay? I played basketball. Baseball wasn't really my thing like that. But a skateboard, though, okay? Like
I did put one in there.
You did? See, I never stood up on the skateboard. I was too tall. I thought I was going to fall to the ground. But you aren't just focused on one thing. You focus on the entire community. And we might have an X Games player or athlete come out of the city because you brought them a skateboard.
Because I bought that skateboard. Well, that's all right. I bought that. And hey, we bought some good stuff. We got great members who donated this year. We raised about $2,500.
Wow, awesome.
So, yeah, we had a great time shopping and just happy to help.
Well, tell us about that process. You mentioned the members that have donated, and this is always an event you guys have partnered with us on. Why is this event important to you all, and just what has that been like, having so much support for the community help make this a great day?
We've done this for the last 16 years, and the donations that we receive, we ask our members for those donations, and they donate with no problem.
Wow.
They're awesome. We appreciate them for what they do. And they make this happen. They help us make this happen. So that's what we do. We're about the members.
I love it.
No doubt about it. And this field, when Ron comes, he always brings a truckload. Y'all did the exact same thing. I'll be honest with you. I knew the traits. You know how some people just got certain traits? When I kept seeing the droves of toys coming in, I was like, oh, yeah, Enbright is here.
Enbright is here. Absolutely. They have arrived.
And others can be today, too, man. It's fun whenever you guys do come around. Sharonda, you told us you're more behind the scene. Ron comes in with his cowboy hat. You didn't bring the hat today.
No, I did not. That is his job and his job alone. I'll leave that up to him.
I kind of wanted the hat.
Tell us about Enbright Credit Union and what you guys do.
We're at Enbright Credit Union. We have 3 locations. We have one in Nashville, downtown, Donaldson, in the Hermitage area, and one in Hendersonville. We are for our members, and we would love for people to come and get you some loans.
Yeah.
We've got Christmas loans. We've got used auto loans. We've got all type of stuff.
Yes, absolutely. And you're here in the community, too. That's the best part about it.
Love being in the community. We do a lot of stuff for the community and in the community. I'm just glad that we can make this somebody's Christmas a little bit lighter and a little bit brighter.
Absolutely.
That's what I always say. It's that time of the year people, fake it. And this is a situation where you don't have to, or you guys are donating, and others can too. We've been encouraging people. You've been encouraging people. I've been bullying people. And making them feel, yes, I have. Been making them feel bad.
Bullying for the greater good, right?
For the greater good. Listen, Sharonda, why should we just make it easy on people? You got a couple extra coins, or you have gone to Enbright and got to take a loan out. Listen, don't just use it all on yourself. Come drop off a little Tykes, anything. Soccer ball. Will brought a soccer ball
I
today.
did. Soccer ball and a football.
And you brought a skateboard that I would break my elbow on. But listen, I'm here for that. I know it's very graphic. I've had these thoughts.
Walmart has elbow pads as well.
not at this weight.
Okay.
I need a bouncing ball room is what I'm telling you, Sharonda. But thank you for bringing all of this. This is awesome. You guys always jumpstart the field of toys getting filled up, though.
Thank y'all so much for having us, and we appreciate it. And thank you again for all of our members and their donations. And Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas to you. InbrightCU.com, where you can go to learn more about them. InbrightCU.com. Sharonda from Inbright Credit Union bringing a van load of toys. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Hour 4.
I know, and I won't bully anybody else, Sharonda.
At least for another hour.
Bring us a gift now.
Final hour of Ramon and Will live from Nissan Stadium coming up next.
8:59. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Week 14 of the NFL season concluded last night as the Chargers take down the Eagles in overtime, 22-19, and improved to 9-4 on the season. Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert threw for 139 yards, a touchdown, and interception, as well as rushing for a team-high 66 yards, despite having surgery last week on his non-throwing hand. And Jalen Hurts, he threw 4 interceptions, including one in overtime, that sealed the win for the Chargers. In NFL news, the Colts brought in retired quarterback Philip Rivers for a workout last night, and they are reportedly now deciding on what to do at quarterback. Their situation is that Daniel Jones suffered a torn Achilles on Sunday against the Jaguars, and rookie backup quarterback Riley Leonard's expected to get the start, but he's also dealing with an injury. It's a knee sprain for him. The 44-year-old Rivers could possibly be an option, and at least as an emergency case. And in college football, the 2025 Heisman finalists were announced yesterday as Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love, Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia, and Ohio State quarterback Julian Sand all are headed to New York. The ceremony for the award is this Saturday, December 13th. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you have to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into the fourth and final hour, live from Nissan Stadium. The 18th annual Toyfield Toy Drive, presented by A.O. Smith and Wayne's Pest Control, continues inside the South End Zone Plaza between gates 8 and 9 of Nissan Stadium. We will be here as a building, as a radio station, as a team until 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we're building a field of toys to benefit Salvation Army's Forgotten Angels program, needing your help for new toys. I got a football. I got an MLS soccer ball because I want to create more Nashville SC fans in Middle Tennessee, of whom there are already many. And you can bring a gift for a senior if you got gloves, hats, blankets, things that would keep your grandparents warm this time of year when it is very hard to stay warm. We will accept that as well. You can park in Lot K. We've got curbside drop-off. You don't even have to come see us. If you like us and you want to come see us, we would love to shake your hand and tell you thanks for listening. But they'll make it quick and easy for you. Lot K, Nissan Stadium, South End Zone, Ramon.
Yep, it is. And if you want to just be, logistical about it, what portion of Nashville is south of the city? Like on the Brentwood, Franklin side of the stadium.
Correct.
Is what you tell yourself.
Correct.
And also, my boy Colin, also, don't go to the first entrance into the stadium. It's the second entrance into the stadium.
Yes, if you are coming from the interstate.
Yeah.
If you're coming from downtown, if you're coming from the west side, then it's the first entrance. Your first left or it's your second right.
Yes, there we go.
There we go.
That's what I'm here for, man, giving people the answers to it.
Absolutely right. Reports from multiple places, ESPN.com, Stephen Holder saying the Indianapolis Colts worked out Philip Rivers last night, the 44-year-old who lives about 5 minutes from Riley Leonard's parents, which I think is funny, is now being framed, Ramon, as a potential asset and resource for Riley Leonard, who's got a knee injury. Anthony Richardson has an orbital bone fracture from a warm-up gone wrong a few weeks ago, so he's on IR and has to miss some time. And then you have Daniel Jones, who just popped his Achilles and is out for the season. 44-year-old quarterback, Ramon, can do what for the Indianapolis Colts? Are they cooked, as the kids say? I say it too, so maybe I'm a kid in that
In the long term of this season, yes, they are cooked. Replacing your starting quarterback, man, gives you a nice little, jolt and just, hey, we got a guy, but the reality of that situation is their dude was Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones put them in this position. They believed in him. They surrounded him with the right amount of talent. That's what they do have is talent, and that's why they're also calling on Philip Rivers. It's because they know he's savvy enough, understands the offense enough to where he can at least keep the car on the road. I think that's what they're all looking for, is somebody that can keep the car on the road. You're telling me that they are a Super Bowl contender right now? Absolutely not. That's not the case.
No,
when
not
Daniel
anymore.
Jones broke his fibula, I think that conversation ended right there also. You can't put a quarterback that's injured into the playoffs like that with a broken leg, and then he pops his Achilles. It to me is where Carly Ursay-Gordon, is trying to make sure that the standard that the Colts have somewhat built up again this year remains the same. That's what I'm getting from this Phillip Rivers conversation.
So there are 4 quarterbacks who have had long gaps between NFL games. So if Phillip Rivers were to start this Sunday for the Indianapolis Colts, it would mark 1,800 days since his last NFL game. That is the 3rd most days between starts among quarterbacks who did not play between them. Chris Miller went 1,400 days for the Broncos at 99. Todd Bowman? I don't know. With the Jacksonville Jaguars, went 1,757 days in 2010. John Reeves in Tampa, 1987. There's a 1987 Tampa Bay Buccaneers shout-out today, if you had that on your bingo card. No, you didn't. 2,149 days. The player that took the longest, Ramon, between starts at quarterback is Frank Tripucka of the Denver Broncos.
I know him.
In 1960. You know why? Because he was a coach, then made player, because it was obvious in the 1960 Denver Broncos season that he was the Broncos' best option at quarterback as the head coach. That's the kind of company that Phillip Rivers is keeping if he does this.
I'm going to be real with you. Nobody deserves this more than Phillip Rivers right now. Like, it's not like it's somebody that's desperate for money or reputation is tainted, so they got to fix it by one more trip around the sun. It's already questionable anyway if he's going to make it into the Hall of Fame. Like, this delays the process to him to where you get Drew Brees out the way, you get Brady out the way, you get Ben out the way. Like, this sets it up for him 5 years from now. Who's he going up against as far as the playoff? I mean, as far as the Hall of Fame goes, they can even put Eli in at that point.
Yeah,
this settles a lot for him. It couldn't have happened. This is the way, as I know how strong in faith he is, this is the way the Lord depicted in his life goes. Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, it might be the case.
If he also had stellar athlete sons that made it to the NFL, imagine father and son pulling the LeBron and Bronny. I mean, since they gonna go,
I think his oldest is Riley Leonard's age.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm serious.
Imagine that. At this point, who says he needs playing experience to be signed to the Colts too? Bring the son in too. What's one Rivers? 2. Put 2 in.
So Stephen Holder of ESPN. Yeah, maybe that kid would know the system too.
Listen.
Stephen Holder of ESPN said last night, this is more me talking than my sources, but my sense is the Colts are willing to pull the trigger on this if Phillip Rivers looks the part. I think he's the one who will need more convincing. Either way, what a story. Says Phillip is maybe the one that's on the fence about this, that's got to be convinced. He did add that the Colts and Rivers discussed a potential return in 2021 when there was concern that Carson Wentz might miss some time. That was 4 years ago. It pretty crazy. We are in pretty unprecedented waters. I feel like more so in sports and more so living through a pandemic.
Yeah.
I've said the word unprecedented more than I would like to in the last 10 years of my life. I'm tired of living through unprecedented things. This one is at least pretty funny. One's pretty funny.
It's just a murderer's row of teams he's got to face. That's
I mean, to be fair, if I had that many children and I had that many adult children asking me for money all the time, I too would want to be away and out of the house all the time.
I do think he's a granddad already too, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's his kids, his oldest have already had kids, if I'm not mistaken. Good.
Yeah, no, he is a grandfather.
He's a grandfather.
Yeah, he's a grandpa.
So I guess in the 1930s, 70s, and 60s and 70s, they had guys that smoked cigarettes in locker rooms. We got Phillip Rivers, the granddad. I'm all for this one, man. I do look at his health and safety, his lack of mobility as of late too. Didn't he end his career with an Achilles tear? Was that the situation for him?
No, I don't think so.
No, it wasn't that. He came in for somebody that had an Achilles tear. I do look at that and say, you've had no football movements. That drop step back where you're planting on your foot, how good is that Achilles at your age? How good are your tendons?
I mean, how good's everything, right?
To be quite honest with you, he simplifies he oversimplifies our offense to where he's not going to be a runner.
Right.
Those are the questions that have to be asked. I know this will be a great story. They'll get people inside of that stadium, and all of the networks will cover it. But it is a little bit of a health risk for a guy that's been out that long.
Sure.
But when you're looking at the team stability side of it, having an adult in the room basically, like this helps the cause. But it all goes back to one bad selection at number 5 overall 3 years ago.
Multiple, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Anthony Richardson being the choice that it was, it makes the trade for Sauce Gardner look that much worse.
Sure does.
There's no way you could have seen this coming. The injury part of it is a really unfortunate consequence of a move that I thought when it happened wasn't a good one.
And but before then, they checked the box and having their guy of the future and Daniel Jones too. So like quarterback was the least of their worries going into it. So I get the move. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I'm not mad at the Sauce Gardner trade for what Sauce Gardner can do for you 2 years from now, though. You know, like, that trade sucks now. If they do, of course, go back to Daniel Jones next year, which I think he's earned that contract.
If he's healthy. Torn Achilles is a long recovery.
It is. Who's the quarterback that's recently had a torn Achilles? Like, all right, well, if that's the case, Lloyd Cushenberry made it back in less than a year.
He did.
He plays a position at quarterback, and he walked off the field also.
He did.
To where, like,
he's a tough guy.
Right now is bad for the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
The future, a year, 2 years from now with Sauce Gardner, if Daniel Jones maintains this level of play, I mean, they still can come out on top.
Yeah.
They still can. I'm not mad at it. The right now is bad, but they're still not in a bad purgatory type of position, though.
Yeah. Let's go to the phones, shall we? Justin, if he's still there.
Rogers is who.
Yes, sir. Let's go to Matthew.
Matthew is in Franklin. What's up, Matthew?
Hey, good morning, my frozen brothers. I hope you're doing well.
We're good.
I've come up with an alternative to the CFP. I'm calling it the 10-2. Everybody at 10-2 gets invited to their own bowl game. Notre Dame plays Vandy, so on and so forth. And the winner of that plays in just like they were playing into a basketball championship. And you get revenue. We get football longer. It would be a Christmas miracle.
I'm here for it. Anything that we got right now, of course, that I heard Brady Quinn this morning talking about.
Thank you for the call, Matthew.
Notre Dame's issue that they have, and what did they say? Permanent damage.
The Notre Dame AD said that the ACC has done permanent damage with them with the way they promoted Miami.
It's very. Listening to Brady explain it somewhat makes sense as to why they feel the way they feel about joining a conference and why they feel like the ACC holds them out. And it's not their fault that the ACC teams that they schedule 5 a year were bad. You know, they mentioned Syracuse having a down year. That was supposed to be a team that was good. The issue that Notre Dame has historically is they get a pass, I feel like, with how they're viewed, how they operate from the business model. Like right now, Tulane is getting a big old check for their entire conference. I think somebody I saw that one of the schools, they're getting like $360,000.
Yeah.
That's their entire, there's more than their entire budget for that conference all year long. And Notre Dame gets an opportunity, of course, yes, bringing all the money, share it with nobody, but you still get the benefit from the ACC schedule.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Pay them to play if that's the way you want to operate and not share your coins. But I get it. Like,
they're
Notre
treated as their
Dame's-
own conference.
Yes, but they want the benefits of everybody else's conference still,
Right.
too.
I mean, Pete Bavacqua, the athletic director, can put his money where his mouth is. If he's that mad at the ACC, you got Tony Petitti's number. You got Greg Sankey's number.
Yeah, you do.
Put your money where your mouth is. If you really feel like you've done irreparable damage, you really feel like your brand is worth that, go call the Big Ten, see if they want you.
Yeah, and
Go call the SEC, see if they want you.
So Brady
Call
Quinn
Brett Yormark, call the Big 12. Like, actions speak louder than words in this.
Yeah, and Brady Quinn was attempting to give an explanation, like the history of why they are what they are and why they didn't join the Big Ten. It was a Big West Conference or what it was at some point, and they didn't want the Irish in because of religious reasons and stuff like that. But I'm thinking to myself, like, if you're still holding on to those types of things, and I get, like, I never go at religion or race or anything like that. We're talking about a sport.
Yeah.
Like, if the Irish can't move past that for the betterment, for the better judgment of your football team, then you got bigger issues that needs to go to therapy and lay on somebody's couch about. We're talking about business and your validation into a college football playoff, or your validation nationally on how people think about you is my thing.
Sure.
Like, it's excuse making for me is what I heard from them, because to your point, he can call Sankey.
Yeah, 100%.
Batiti,
he'll pick up
anybody.
They'll pick up 100%. I mean, you are a national brand. You bring in money, and that's what rules college sports. Money. How can you make me money? And how can you get me television revenue value? Coming up, Steve Palazolo, the 33rd team, will join us. Curious his thoughts on Cam Ward post-bye week and how we judge a Titans offensive line that found a way to create explosive plays in the run game for the first time this season over the weekend in Cleveland. We'll hit all the NFL headlines and talk Titans with our good friend Steve Palazolo coming up next.
Did you know that up to 50% of the air you breathe in your home comes from your crawl space? Have you ever looked in your crawl space? I get it. Most of us don't even want to know what's in there, but moisture in your crawl space can create unhealthy issues that can make their way into the air you breathe every day in your home. It's Ramon Foster, and this is where United Structural Systems can help you. USS has been keeping homes dry and stable in Middle Tennessee since 1994, so you know they aren't going anywhere. Help control moisture and musty smells with mold treatment and crawl space encapsulation that comes with USS Guarantee. Encapsulation helps reduce high humidity in your crawl space. It also helps deter mold and mildew and protects your crawl space from pests and wood rot. So go ahead and turn your crawl space into a healthy space. Reach out to the company I trust for all foundation repair and waterproofing needs, man. That's United Structural Systems. You can go to their website at usstn.com. That's usstn.com, or call them the old school way at 6
Ramona Will continues live from Nissan Stadium this morning, out in the elements. Ramon Foster and Will Bowling from the 18th annual Toyfield Toy Drive, presented by A.O. Smith and Wayne's Pest Control, continuing to talk Titans this morning, as we are pleased to be joined by our very good friend, Steve Palazolo. Check the mic, the 33rd team. Steve, good morning. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for having me again, guys.
Absolutely. What do you think about Cam Ward post-bye week, Steve? It feels like the Titans and Cam have been taking a step forward against Houston, against Seattle. Now maybe a little bit of a step back the last 2 weeks, but at least you have a win mixed in there as well. As you kind of take stock of where Cam is at this point, Steve, where is he improving? Where do you still need to see more from him?
Yeah, I think there's definitely been some improvement over the last few weeks in totality. The Seahawks game, I think everybody agrees that was his best game, not just statistically, just watching him throw for throw. And I know they were down a bunch in the second half, but even just leading some semblance of a comeback and looking more comfortable against such a tough defense, I thought was impressive. So I think we've seen one or two special throws from Cam Ward every single week. So that's, tick that box. That's great. That's a part of his game that we expected to see. I thought throughout the season, I'm back and forth on whether or not teams should do this with a young quarterback in this type of situation, but I thought he needed to use his legs more throughout the season. But the caveat being, it's a throwaway season. It's a development season. So if he doesn't actually run a lot and scramble and use his legs in the design run game, it's okay. Let's use these reps to develop in the pass game. But I think next year and beyond, Cam Ward needs to use his legs a little bit more. A couple scrambles here and there. I think we saw that against Seattle, saw that two straight games where he would just take off and run. And it was, a key part of the comeback drive against the Texans a couple weeks ago. And I think that's going to be more of his game going forward, or at least it needs to be. I don't care if it is the rest of the season. Again, use those reps to throw. I want to see more just in rhythm passes. And that comes from, do you have the receivers getting open? Do you have the scheme? Do you trust, everyone around you? But I think that's the biggest thing, is playing in rhythm with Cam Ward. It's still a very high sack total this year. I think his ability to sometimes drop back too far in the pocket, Ramon knows that. You drop back too far, you're hanging your offensive lineman out to dry. So I think that is something that needs to improve. And then just overall ball security. Hasn't had a lot of interceptions, but the fumbles have been some rough ones in there throughout the year. So that's definitely something that needs to get cleaned up.
Steve Palazolo, the 33rd team, check the mic with us. How do you view this game specifically, Steve? With the elements, with the snow, with a guy named Myles Garrett playing on the other side, how concerned are you with some of the inaccurate downfield passes we saw in this game and are seeing week to week with Cam at this point?
Yeah, I think there's some concern. I think when you're in Cleveland, though, and look, I know Shedeur Sanders on the other side made some really nice throws. The elements do matter, though. I think it is one of the things that as analysts in football, we seem to forget. Like when you're in the Dome in Indianapolis, you know where the ball's going. You know the ball flight, and it's going to get to where you want it to go more often than not. You get to Cleveland, and you've got swirling wind, and it's colder, and it's tougher to catch. The stats aren't going to be as good, and the ball doesn't always go where it's supposed to. And it's part of playing. But when you take a step back and look statistically and say, oh, this guy played poorly and this guy played great, it's like, well, the elements do matter. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But Cleveland's a really tough defense. There's a lot of good defenses around the league, and they've made offenses look really, really bad. And I don't think you saw that necessarily from the Titans on Sunday, which was great. There were, definitely spurts, the bad interception and, needed a couple long runs just to, put points on the board, some short fields. But they did a nice job against the Browns. And that's the other thing I think to be encouraged by with Cam Ward. The AFC South has some, difficult defenses to go against. They're playing the NFC West this year, playing the Rams, playing the Seahawks. They have gone through a gauntlet. We've seen what the Texans have done to other teams. We've seen what the Rams and Seahawks have done to other teams, what the Browns have done, what the Chargers have done. They're going through a gauntlet of tough defenses, and they're ill-equipped from a personnel perspective right now. So I think that's the other high-level takeaway of this Titan season. It's been a challenge. He's been challenged every single week. That offense has been challenged. So it hasn't been pretty all the time, but there's at least some positive signs to build on for next year.
We're joined by Steve Palazolo of the 33rd team this morning, talking a little Titans. Steve, and that's kind of where I wanted to go to with this Cam Ward this year and his rookie year, man. How do you view managing him going into next season? What this season has turned out to be. Fired your coach, man. No real experience at play calling at the coordinator position. There are deficiencies, but what do you view Cam as to being as a young pro right now, if you just break down everything that he's done so far this year?
Yeah, so when I go back through the archives of my brain, there's been some really bad rookie quarterback seasons through the years. Jared Goff looked awful, and he didn't even see the field till week 9 or 10 back in 2016. Blaine Gabbert with the Jags. Now, Blaine never really came out of it, but it was really bad. Bryce Young's first year, it was awful. I mean, you got to the point where you're questioning whether or not this guy can even play in the NFL. J.J. McCarthy's going through it right now in his second year. He just came off a good game, but people are questioning if they're ever going to get it. Cam's not dealing with that. So I think that's a positive sign. And by the way, those other guys either came out of it in year 2 or Jared Goff got his Sean McVay, and, things change. So the fact that we're not at this, rock bottom feeling with Cam Ward, or at least that's not where I feel he is, you've got something to build upon. So now it's a matter of getting this offseason decision for the Titans. Do you go with the defensive head coach and this potential revolving door of offensive coaches? Do you get the next offensive mind in there that has to be, tied at the hip? And it's like, all right, your development is tied to Cam Ward's development, both of you guys together for the next few years. That's a great decision that needs to be made. But they got to do whatever's best for him. Find the types of receivers, whether in free agency or the draft, that are going to fit his skill set. Make sure that the offensive line is shored up across the board for the coming years, and go from there. And I think, the fact that there have been some positive signs is good. I know people want to look at what New England has done and say, look, Drake May was in a bad situation last year. They got the right head coach. Believe it or not, it's Mike Vrabel. And they spent in free agency. They hit on the draft, and boom, look at them fighting for the playoff picture. It's not necessarily that easy, but that's the formula, right? You're going to find the right coach. They're going to have money to spend in free agency. They're going to try to stock up on even more draft picks and get an influx of youth, and you got to just get the right people around him on the offensive side of the ball.
No doubt. And that's kind of where I was just thinking, too, because what the NFL has done is, catered to the vets a little bit by giving that fifth-year option to guys that hadn't proven their worth in the NFL. And that decision comes fast when it comes down to quarterbacks, contract extensions, and just deciding what you will do for your future, right? So that's why I kind of want to ask you that question, too. You mentioned draft capital. Where do you start the rebuild? Do you just go and cover up? Do you spend again in free agency, which they've done before, to try to jumpstart this team? Because that timeline of, okay, is he our guy? Is the next coach, going to stick for you also? How much time do you give, and where do you start, Steve, when you talk about resetting this Titans team, in your opinion?
I was just talking to people off air before, and it's like, well, the decision's up for C.J. Stroud right now for the Houston Texans. And if you watch the Kansas City game the other night, it's like, all right, early in the game, some really nice plays. And then 6-7 straight drives, they do nothing. He looks completely out of it. And I'm like, I don't know, do I trust C.J. Stroud in a big game? And then he comes out and makes a couple big plays, but they're gifted some field position. So even C.J. Stroud, who's shown a ton of promise, you're still sitting there like, man, is he going to be $50 million? So anyway, that decision, I think you could wait a little bit. What is this the guy for the future? I think you need to see more. You need to see your quarterback in a better situation. So that's a difficult one. And then again, coming out of that, I think you need to draft in volume, and I think they get that in Tennessee. And I think they realize there was a point where they were half in, half out, and a lot of the veteran moves that they made involved giving up draft picks, like a L'Jarius Sneed move, like a DeAndre Hopkins, right? You're bringing in players who are not necessarily going to be there, or in the long term, in sacrificing younger players. I don't see them sacrificing draft picks, but you still have to spend, because you are blessed with the rookie contract quarterback, and it is an inordinate amount of money that you have. So when you look at the biggest spenders the last couple of years, it's the Bears, who have Caleb Williams, it's the Patriots, it's the Commanders, who had Jaden Daniels. So you have money to spend. So I think you can do that without sacrificing the future of the organization, and then you try to draft 10 to 12 times over the next couple of years, right? And you just keep stocking up on draft picks, You try to hit on 3 to 4 players per year, and before you know it, you got your nucleus. And hopefully by then you have an idea of what Cam Ward can be, because the situation's better and you have young players around him who are capable, and you just have a better idea of what he's capable of doing.
You brought up a number, and I think that's something that we either need to get used to and condition ourselves to, Steve, with the quarterback. $50 million. Like, that's going to be the starting point. How hard is it going to be to commit to that? And how many, do you see teams moving on from guys that they'll have questions about, like a C.J. Stroud, to commit to $50 million salary? And I know the quarterback's always been the biggest pie or the biggest cut from the pie when we're talking about these salaries. But, Steve, that is a very problematic decision to be making when you're not sure about a dude. Even, Bryce Young, right? Like, these are decisions these guys will have to make on 50.
If you take Bryce Young's 5 best games over the last 2 years, it's like you're handing him that money, no questions asked. He looks great in his best 5 games, but it's all the games in between where you're like, man, I don't know if this guy can play. Bryce Young has been a roller coaster ride, so it is a challenge. It is a challenge, and there's not a lot of teams that have stepped away. We've seen Tua. He made his money, and it's like, well, is he a product of the system? Is he Tyreek Hill dependent? Is he Mike McDaniel dependent? And we still don't know. They haven't beaten a good team in 4 years with Tua, right? I mean, that's just where they are. So it's kind of the nature of the NFL. There's not a lot of teams that have stepped away from a first contract quarterback who could become that guy. Right. There's not a lot of teams that have stepped away from the $50 million deal. So I think you'll kind of know, like if a Cam Ward or any other quarterback is good enough, he's probably going to get that money. And then you look at this season in particular, fascinating year. If Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson don't make the playoffs and the Bills seem like they're down a little bit, I think people are going to start saying, are we really in a QB-dependent league as much as possible? Yes, we are. But you're showing that if you have this elite defense like the Texans or the Broncos or the Seahawks, you can deal with lesser on offense. Nothing against Sam Darnold. I mean, Darnold's still playing great, and Matthew Stafford's still playing great, and Drake May is emerging. But you're seeing this, defense-centric teams that are going to be making runs here this year. So I think you're going to see the league also say, okay, we can do that. Do we really need to just keep chasing the next Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, or can we build the whole roster? So just give me the $50 million quarterback, and I'll do my work, and I'll make sure that we build that defense well, and we'll get the playmakers, we'll get the offensive line. So $50 million, it's not crazy because the cap will keep going up, and It's just the going rate for a starting quarterback now.
Steve Palazolo of the 33rd Team, our guest. Subscribe to Check the Mic wherever you download podcasts to get him and Sam Monson talking NFL football each and every week. Steve, is there a name or two or a system or two out there that you think is the best fit for Cam Ward as the Titans search for their next head coach? We've talked about the obvious links like Mike McCarthy and Matt Nagy to people in the front office. There's the up-and-comers like a Joe Brady or a Clint Kubiak. What do you think is the fit? Or is there one or two fits that you feel like should be top of the list for Cam Ward?
Man, it's really difficult. Like I look at like a Mike McCarthy. Has he recently developed a younger quarterback? Not necessarily, And I don't know if that's the right way to go. I don't think, with Matt Nagy, I'm scared of anyone who's adjacent to a Patrick Mahomes or a Tom Brady and assigning them credit for anything that's been done there. There's just not a great history there. I mean, the more football is played, the more we think maybe Tom Brady's the driver of everything that happened in New England. And every coach adjacent to that was propped up by Tom Brady. And maybe the same is true for Patrick Mahomes. So that scares me a little bit. I think I look at a guy like Joe Brady, who's been attached to a Josh Allen and a Joe Burrow through the years, and that's great. I mean, but I think he's at least developed the run game and some creativity, and he's developed players in different to different styles and different systems. So I think that's what I'd be looking for. It's not so much a system, but an offensive coordinator or a play caller or an offensive mind that's either done it with multiple quarterbacks and done it in different styles. And then you've got the Clint Kubiak question, which is like, okay, this is the old school Shanahan system. And if you can run it, I mean, they're running it well in Seattle. It's a low volume passing attack, high volume running. It's not even a good running attack, but they do it just enough to keep play action open, to keep the downfield passing attack open. And then you have those games where Sam Darnold goes, 21 of 28 for like 280 and 3 touchdowns. And it's like, man, that is the holy grail of that offense. It's low volume, but high efficiency. And Kubiak's done a great job with Derek Carr and Sam Darnold the last couple of years. That would be intriguing. I don't know if that's necessarily the best fit for Cam Ward, but that style has worked through the Shanahan-Kubiak style has worked really well in the NFL for 15 years, and that would at least be intriguing to me.
Yeah, that's interesting right there. Let me ask you something, because you look at them as prospects too, and this year's been okay, not great, but not bad either. What would you do with J.C. Latham? There's been conversation. I thought this when he was drafted. Look, he'll be your tackle or bump him inside. I think he's, a perfect fit to play inside. I know he's an uber athlete. He's got the size and mobility for it, but we've seen either because of an injury to his hip, and I'll give that discretion right there, but it's been problematic at times getting out and, holding the anchor. What would you do with him going into his third year, Steve?
I think you got to give him another year at right tackle at least. I mean, we've talked a ton about how of all the positions in the NFL, offensive line takes 3 or 4 years to develop. And, I think you probably felt that as a player and, players that you played with. And then the data backs that up too. If you just look at whatever production metrics you want to look at, whether it's PFF, whatever it is, there's a lot of players who either struggled in years of all the positions. The offensive lineman can come out of struggles and slumps in years 3, 4, and 5. So I think there's a viable strategy in the NFL to try to buy low on offensive linemen who have struggled after 2 years and try to get them in. The Browns did that with Wyatt Teller a couple of years ago. They just grabbed him. They got a high-end starter for a couple of years, just grabbing him out of a bad situation, right? So I don't want to sell low on a guy like a J.C. Latham when you might have year 3 or 4 some development time. And we've seen tackles like Donovan Smith and Eric Fisher, a couple of left tackles, but they struggled their first couple of years. By years 3, 4, and 5, they were viable NFL starters and guys that you were perfectly fine giving decent money to as starters. So I think you gotta roll with him at right tackle and hope that year 3, 4, 5 development does occur here for JC.
Steve Palazolo, our guest, host of Check the Mic with Steve Palazolo and Sam Monson, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The 33rd team, those guys crush it, doing a great job talking about the NFL. Steve, always great to catch up with you. Thank you.
Yep, thanks, guys. Stay warm out there.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, Steve. Thanks.
Absolutely. Steve Palazolo with us here this morning. Crushes it.
He does.
Does a great job. I always feel like I've got so many things on my list of things I want to talk with Steve about around the league and the division, and then he's so good at talking about the Titans. I'm like, actually, one more about the Titans. Let's dive in a little bit deeper.
That's where I was. I wanted to ask him about Bo Nix, and what he thought about him, and with the conversation we had earlier, how real is Drake May and the Patriots, but. His content is always good, man. I like Steve.
I appreciate people like Steve and Sam Monson, and I think our listeners and Titans fans do too, who, this is going to sound really surface level, but who watch Titans games. I'm serious. I think there is a lot of national media out there, and I'm not taking shots at anybody personally, but I think that there is a need for more people of that status who know ball, for lack of a better term, to just watch Titans games and have legitimate opinions about teams that, get this, aren't in the NFC East or aren't the Chiefs. And I love Steve and Sam for that, because they are breaking down us as much as they are breaking down the big guys, and that's why we have them on.
No doubt about it. It's good talking to them. I thought that conversation is about as calm of a discussion that anybody's had about Cam.
Well, and I think sometimes people feel like Cam Ward is at that Bryce Young rookie year level.
Yeah.
To Steve's point, this is not a disaster of a rookie year akin to Blaine Gabbert, Jared Goff, or Bryce Young.
Right.
And I think it's important to go beyond the stat sheet on that, because the completion percentage is what it is, the quarterback rating is what it is, the sack numbers are what they are. But this isn't that, and Steve's opinion on that, I think, is a bit calming. I think it's really interesting.
And here's the other side too, and I'll forever admit, my mindset as a retired player, former player, is the rookies have to go over and beyond the proof. The grace that they're giving to be a pro is judged harsh. I'll be honest with you. It just is. And how you view what their expectations are and how they walk about doing their job, too.
Mm-hmm.
Cam's mindset, and I guess want to be great, is ever present in how he talks about it and what he does on a day-to-day. So you almost got to kind of view his situation this rookie year for him, but he's on a bad team.
Yeah, he's on a really bad team.
And it's out of respect for what the Titans are attempting to do.
Unfortunately.
And nobody can
Oh, you're talking about Cam. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying in general, like
So you're talking about the other
it's just
guys.
a bad team that he's on, too. And football is I'm talking about emotional sport as a player and as a fan. And you want what you want right now. And sometimes the same way I'm giving, credence to what the Colts are doing, I still don't think it's a bad situation for Daniel Jones and Sauce Gardner.
Right.
It's just
Right.
bad
I see
in
what
the
you're saying
present.
now.
Yeah, it's bad for Cam in the present.
Sure. Doesn't have to be in the future. When we come back, got a couple headlines we hadn't gotten to yet. Shedeur Sanders going to stick around as starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. I hadn't really talked a lot about Shedeur's play in the game on Sunday. We'll wrap up the show with that. Live from Toyfield at Nissan Stadium after this.
Everybody come join us on Tuesday, December 9th at Nissan Stadium. It is our 18th annual Toyfield, where we gather toys for underprivileged children.
I couldn't imagine if I woke up in the morning on Christmas and my kids were there like expecting something and there was nothing. So going out and buying the toy or finding a scarf or something cozy for an elderly person, just to me is it's a way of giving back for all the good things that we've been given.
It's a wonderful thing to see how Nashville comes together to support each other. And we know this has been a tough year for a lot of people, so this is going to be even more of a special time for us to come together as a community and support each other during the holiday seasons.
When giving a gift fills you with more joy than getting a gift, then you begin to understand the joys of Toyfield, which is a wonderful event put on by Cumulus Media.
So join us on December 9th. That's a Tuesday at Nissan Stadium. We will be there, and we can't wait to see you and all the toys that you bring.
Wrapping up the show live from Nissan Stadium. Ramon and Will. 18th annual Toyfield Toy Drive. It's one of my favorite Christmas songs right here.
I love it. This. There you go,
This
Hawk.
Christmas. Very good.
Hey, with a hum right there, Will.
Yeah, just a little bit.
That's why you're the best voices on the station.
Hey, go off, Hawk.
I do like that promo. Yeah.
Like that, Hawk.
You're welcome.
One of these days, my audition tape for The Voice is going to surface. I don't think a lot of people know about that.
Hold up. No, I don't
We've
know
talked about this.
No,
Yeah.
we have not.
It was
Nope.
years ago, but
Years ago.
Is this something that we can find?
No.
Are you
No.
sure?
Nope.
I feel like Hawk is on a mission
Nope.
now.
Nope. It is not out there
It's not out?
for the public.
I
It
would
lives in a
absolutely
place,
love that.
but that place will not be disclosed to you.
We'll have to ask your fiance Peyton at some point in time.
I don't even think
Hey,
she's
there are
seen
some
it.
boxes that Will may have or a drive. If you
That's,
could just randomly start opening up stuff and
It's got to be in the family archive.
That
has to be.
that is a past life. That is a past life.
Your sister still lives that life, though.
Yeah.
She does. Shout
Claire's
out
a
to
great
Claire,
singer.
man.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Wes, too. Wes and I were dorm mates, man, for about a
Yeah,
year.
y'all
too.
lived in the same dorm at UT.
Friggin' small world.
Shout out Gibbs
man.
Hall. The
Did
Gibbs
not
Hall
know
that no longer exists, unfortunately.
I still haven't stepped foot in the new one, Stokely.
I lived there second semester sophomore year. It was my least favorite place I lived on campus.
Is that old?
No, it's brand new. It
I
was
know.
just tiny. Like the living space was nice. The dining area was nice, but like the rooms were shoeboxes.
Really?
Like if you were in one of the 4-bedroom, because I was still on the track team at that point, so I was
Yeah.
with teammates, and Vol Hall was my favorite because that was an apartment when you were there, and then the university bought it right by the law school.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that one.
like 12-story,
Yeah,
like the
absolutely.
tallest one.
The newest one on the
That's
on
where I lived
campus.
first semester sophomore.
Yeah, those were nice.
That was
right
my
there.
favorite. That was basically just like having an apartment, but it was a dorm.
It was. Yeah, those
anyway,
are nice.
we're getting sidetracked, but yes, good times.
By that time, I had moved out to East Emerald Street, man, living with the boys.
There you
man. Living with the boys.
Shedeur Sanders is going to start the rest of the year, right? Move by Cleveland.
It is. His performance, 4 total touchdowns, man, I thought was solid. He got to get rid of some of the hero ball that he wanted to play and realize NFL defenses usually stick to their assignments. That pass he threw over the middle was flagrant by him, but it gives them something to what they can believe in. I'm not sure if they're going to commit to him or Deshaun Watson going into next year. But the idea that he deserves it this year, yeah, Deshaun Watson, I don't think is going to come back and play this year. It's just how much are they willing to commit, or if a team will take a trade with him, or will they outright cut him at this point? I almost feel like he's just a tag-along friend, man. Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're going to sell a lot of tickets with Shedeur, though.
They are. I don't know if there's really. I don't know. It's a tricky one because the way he played Sunday, he was good.
Yeah.
He made some really good throws. The problem with Shedeur is still the management of the pocket, and
Lord.
the bad plays are really bad. And you just got to get the ball out of your hand more quickly. He deserves time to learn how to do that at the NFL level. The problem is I don't know if he's going to be afforded the same timeline as a first-round pick because he's a fifth-round pick. And he may be playing well enough to continue to get opportunities. Again, is it a Will Levis situation where, hey, like normally we may give you more time, but because of the situation of the franchise and the draft picks that we have, because they got 2 of them in the first round, thanks to the Travis Hunter trade with Jacksonville last year. What's the opportunity cost? Can we go get somebody we believe in more, or do they believe in Shedeur enough over these final 6 games that he's starting to give him more of a chance? We'll see.
It's such a flagrant issue because they still owe and committed to Deshaun.
No doubt. No doubt.
Lord.
Fun morning. Always is at Toyfield. Until next year. Until tomorrow. Obviously, we'll host a show back in studio in the warmth tomorrow morning. We are here till 6 o'clock. Come by and see us. Curbside drop-off, Lot K, South End Zone, Nissan Stadium between gates 8 and 9. Would love to see you all here as the Buck Rising Show takes over next.
You must remember, come prepared for being outside and your feet won't be cold, but your Twitter fingers and your mic, they are always hot.